In 6 miles to Chicago, we got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Wednesday, July 17th, I will be 46 years old in 1 week. Guys, we're going to need a bigger boat. It is Double Impact. I'm your host, Gabe Altaib, and I'm here with my amazing friend, the hilarious, the talented, the midnight lover himself, the great Jericho Green. How you doing, friend?
Doing great, man. What a lovely movie.
This is such a good movie. I'd never, ever seen it before until last night or the night before. Don't know how I missed it. I knew that it was a great movie. I've been on the ride at Universal Studios. I basically knew the plot. Holy cow, this is a good movie. We'll get to that. But first, I want to know what is going on with you. How's the life of the great Jericho Green? How you doing this last week?
Hey, life is good, man. The kids are good. Therefore, I am. Work is going good. Got Comic-Con coming up very soon. So, you know, the plate is full, but it's full of good things.
Yeah. Is this one of those summers you feel like you're going to remember? To me, I'm having an amazing summer. Thank God. And this is like one of those summers I think I'm going to look back on. Is this a standout for you, or is this an average one, or how's it going?
No, I mean, aside from, you know, Comic-Con and things like that, and like trips I've taken with the family and stuff like that, it's pretty normal, but there are definitely some bright spots.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Speaking of Comic-Con, you will be here at my house next week, and that is going to be awesome because you're going to be, where are you going to be? Are you coming to this? Are you coming to this still? Yeah. Guys, if you didn't sign up, you missed out, and I'm sorry.
Damn it.
You can come outside of the building and just look inside the windows at us and wave, and we'll wave back. I'm sorry.
Open.
Was that Mervin's or Marshall's or Ross?
Mervin's, man, that lady. Open.
Right.
You got to be of a certain age.
Yeah, it was like a clothing store in California in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Big Man Comics Comic-Con fan meetup. We do a party every year at Basic Bar Pizza until the lockdowns, and we quit doing them. But we did it for 7 years. It's going to be awesome. Myself, Nerdrotic, Craig from Side Scrollers, Alan and Chris from Film Thread. I think they had a funeral for Star Wars today on their channel because those horrible woke Star Wars shows.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Jericho Green and Quarter Black Garrett and myself come meet and greet. There's going to be prizes. The wristbands I'm ordering for you guys, they're numbered. So we're going to pick numbers based on your wristband. It's awesome. I didn't know they were numbered. It was my wife's idea. She said, do they have numbers? And then I looked at them on Amazon, and they did. And we've given away some Dean Cain comic books and some other awesome Big Man Comics stuff. some stuff you can no longer buy, like signed Dean Cain comic books. I have a few signed ones left. I even have that foil cover that we only printed a few of, and that's very valuable. You know, those I think we charge at least $100 for those or more. And so we're gonna have some cool stuff you can win there, and then of course meet these awesome streamers. And it's all at this great place that's right next to the San Diego Convention Center. Basic, my friend owns this bar. It's got those big roll-up garage doors. It's an old industrial building from like 100 years ago. I think they were canning fish or doing something right down there by the harbor. That's what this neighborhood is in San Diego. And pizza and beer, you can buy and eat as much, eat and drink as much as you want. And not the beer, though. Watch it with the booze. No drunk driving, no nonsense. Yeah. But it's an awesome place. Jericho, you could vouch for the delicious pizza at this place, right?
Yeah, the pizza is excellent. The venue, the bar itself is super cool. Yeah. You can't see it, but right outside the entrance there, it's like the street is right there, the sidewalk. The way it's set up is really cool. There's a stage in the middle of it. It's really nice. I definitely hope to see you guys there. Now, you mentioned that if they didn't get their ticket to get in, they could look inside the window and we'd wave to them.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to wave. I'm going to do this because you fucked up and didn't get your ticket.
You got to get your tickets, baby.
You're not going to get away from me.
This thing sold out like what, in 2 days? I put the tickets up there, and you know, the capacity of this place is only 200 and something, like 230, 250. I don't know. I'm not the fire marshal, but we sold it out, guys. It's they all gone. Yep. Sorry about that. People have emailed me and private messaged me and asked me about tickets, and I don't think I can squeeze any more in. I don't think so. I might. If you follow me on socials, I could do some math with my wife, but I'm hesitant to let any more out. Yeah. But it's going to be an awesome night. Really fun. I cannot wait to see you there, guys. It's going to be a blast. We're going to kick off Comic-Con. I used to call it Gabe's Comic Book Kickoff or something like that. Now it's just, you know, Comic-Con family. If you're a big fan of Craig or you just like the way he smells, he will be at my booth on Friday from 1 to 2.
That close.
1705. If you like Rhetoric and Quarter Black Garrett, they will be there on Saturday. You can come get an autograph from them. I print up these little cards with their logos on it. They can sign those for you. And of course, the gentleman from Film Threat will be there Thursday and Saturday. And Jericho will probably be at my booth on Thursday. I don't have an ad for that because we haven't agreed on time for that. So it's going to be awesome. And the other thing happening for Big Man Comics, the big, it's Big Man Comics, guys, thing happening is debuting of the books I have coming at the end of 2024 and into 2025. Now, I'm not going to show you the artwork for these other books. That's why I have it all teeny tiny. Good luck there. But we're going to be announcing what these books are. I will not blow that stuff up. There's hints. People kind of know what some of this stuff is. This one I've already shown off. If you love to hate what Disney has done to Star Wars, Michael Mouse, Gabe?
I don't know who that is.
Michael
That's his middle name?
His name is Mickey Mouse, Gabe.
Michael Mouse.
Michael Mouse is his brother who spent a little time in the Hooskow.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, though.
He did some federal prison in Nevada and in California. You know that? Michael Mouse.
He's a pervert.
All right, put the money in the bag, motherfucker.
Do you want to fucking die today?
You want your brains all over this wall? Now put the money in the bag.
Look here, pull your tits out.
That's Michael Mouse, everyone.
Yeah.
If you hate what Mickey Mouse did to Star Wars, and you love things like Star Wars, you love Interstellar, you love sci-fi and stuff like that, you love Dune, Empyrean it's right for you. You're going to love this. I wrote this thing based on a story from some good friends of mine. The guy that illustrated Dean Cain All-American Lawman, he's illustrating this one. I'm coloring it, and it is a masterpiece. We're having so much fun. And it's already halfway drawn. He's already drawn 60 pages. I've colored a bunch of pages already. And we're going to get it done before we put it on sale. I think crowdfunding is good for people who need the money and need all that. But I think it's better to get these done for you guys and then get them in your hands faster. You guys carried me on the first Dean Cain. You crowdfunded that to finance it so I could get it done. And I'll thank you for that forever. I continue to make awesome entertainment for you. So the other books will be debuting. We'll be talking about what they are. They are so much fun. I'm drawing 2 of them. I'm writing all of them. So it's a lot of fun. You made Big Man Comics very real. So I'm excited. I'm excited as I can be for Comic-Con. One other thing I want to show you, the poll of polls, the poll I never come back to, guys.
This one's crazy.
Please vote early, vote often. The poll question tonight is, we're going to need a bigger goat, moat, throat, or boat. Please vote. Right now, moat is inside. Nobody likes throat. I think throat is the funniest answer on that.
I thought there were more perverts in here. Oh, well. Maybe I was wrong.
Only the first 3 count. Star Wars was garbage out there. Yes, the first 3 Star Wars movies are awesome, and the 2014 comic book series with artwork by me is also awesome. Other than that, I don't really like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Melodic Method. Next year, where would we buy reserved tickets? It'll just be announced on my social media. I do it a few weeks before Comic-Con. Nerdrotic announced it on his show, and like 20,000 people watch that show live, so they went fast. And it'll happen again next year, but we always have it at this venue. I am personal friends with the owner. They always let me use it during Comic-Con, and it's just a fun way to give something fun back to the fans to come and meet us. And I have some little bit of free swag I'll be giving out, a little bit, and then some cool prizes. Those are very limited. The free swag, that'll be fun, but the prize is very limited. So it'll be a great night. And you can get some New Haven, Connecticut style pizza. If you're interested in buying yourself some of that, it'll be delish. Jericho, how good was the mashed potato bacon pizza they had?
Yeah, it might sound crazy a little bit culinarily, if that's a word, but it is amazing. Absolutely delicious. The food is on par with the ambiance and the decor and all that stuff. The whole venue itself, everything is great.
Oh, but is it a fancy place? Do I need tops and tails to go in?
No, you will not need to get out. You're putting on the Ritz outfit. It's very cash, as the kids say. So yeah, jeans, t-shirt. You don't gotta get all crazy. But
Right.
hey, if you wanna do tops and tails, you want to get that tuxedo out, ladies. You want to get the evening gown and the jewels. Hey, no judgment here.
No Crocs. If I see Crocs, you're gone.
Yeah, or
I'm serious.
pajama pants. You're fucking out of here.
Well, I was joking about the Crocs, but we're serious about the pajama pants.
Yeah, we'll bounce you ourselves personally.
Do not wear pajama pants in front of me, please.
Oh, fucking out of here.
That is one of the worst developments of the last few years. I think it had something to do with the lockdowns. I think people were just lounging around the house watching Netflix, and then they would mosey over to the grocery store and not change.
Nope.
And now
I lived through that too, and I never did that shit.
Yeah, I don't do it either. And I see grown-ass people wearing Cookie Monster pants to the grocery store. Knock it off.
No. If I were King Jericho of these United States, there would be a decree. The first time you get caught in public with pajama pants on, for adults only, not the kids.
Right.
There's still hope for them.
Right.
You will be tackled, double leg takedown, and have your pants removed.
Are you
go home with no pants on?
Are you a PJ guy? I don't think people should wear pajamas. I think I wear a t-shirt much like the one I'm wearing now, and I always wear those cotton workout shorts. That's what I wear to sleep in. Or just boxers. Just boxers usually. Boxers and a t-shirt.
Summertime, yeah, it's definitely undies, maybe a wife beater, if you can still say that in 2024. But no, in the wintertime, no. I got the heating blanket and all that shit. I'm an adult, so I have a heating blanket. But getting into bed, walking to bed, we have hardwood floors, cold, air's cold. Nah, man, I'm throwing on some jammy pants.
Okay.
But not fucking Cookie Monster. I mean, adult male.
Go Power Rangers. you don't have those.
You guys. Spaghetti.
The Whore of One apparently wasn't here 1 minute ago when we were talking about the party. He wants to know if you're going to be at the party that we were just talking about for 5 minutes that you're going to be at.
Yes, if you're going back in time 5 minutes ago, yeah, I'll be there.
Let's see. Mark, he doesn't own any pajamas. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting for the ladies.
Well, it's some guys, there's always the scene where something happens in the middle of the night and dad comes running out in like a wife beater and some boxers. So, hey, I get it. That's some people's sleep attire.
An art question, since I'm an artist. Shadow of Humanity. I have a question. Is it okay to make art of Jesus? My gut reaction is no. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would do a painting or a drawing. That's how I feel. If other people want to do it, I guess they can. I'm not in charge of that. The Bible, what I believe, the Bible, it never says not to. It does say not to blaspheme, which would be to make fun of God. I don't know. I guess that's a personal thing. There's no teaching in the Bible that says not to. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't feel good enough to do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel worthy of doing something like that. So I wouldn't, but you know, that's personal decision for you, I suppose. Let's see. Reminds me of this real law back in medieval times. Do you mean the medieval times at the Excalibur Hotel Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada? Where if you dress better than nobles, you would get arrested. Really? How petty, how bitchy.
Hey, back then shit was crazy.
Is your codpiece shinier than my codpiece, Lord Jericho?
It's definitely bigger.
Did you polish your codpiece, sir? How dare!
That's this man. But I mean, you know, back then, like if 2 or more people accused you of like being a witch, that was it. So back then, shit was crazy. So yeah,
my good sir,
watch your wardrobe, people.
I challenge you to a duel, my good sir.
Let me see your outfits.
Let's see. Definitely gonna need a bigger throat. See, Diesel gets the joke.
Diesel's a fucking scumbag.
The Wayfair repping the 199. The great Jeremy Griggs, Ryan Cannell, and all the great people, geeks and gamers. We love the 199 around here. Remember the people we met in Vegas, Jericho? All those awesome YouTubers. That 199 is their big fan base. Because some guy, I here's the lore of that, and I could get this wrong. Some guy threatened to call 911 on them, but he said he was going to call 199 on them. So they just endlessly mocked. He was a hater of theirs, I guess. And now they make like hats and shirts, and it's like their little code word is the 199. So there you go. In Indiana, it is illegal to take a bath from September through March. Okay.
There's a lot of those laws that were around a long time ago for like some weird reason, but they just never took them off the books. Like in some places, it's illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your pocket. I don't know why you would do that. But
it should be illegal to wear pajama pants in public. I'll tell you that.
Should be. Can we get that amendment?
Melodic message. Some guy mistyped 1990. Oh, okay. So it was something about the year. I thought it was about. Oh, you know the 911 story was my son. When he was little, we were talking to him about calling 911. He was like a kindergartner, and he said he was going to call 999 or 119. He got the number wrong. I said, "Oh, don't do that, son. Everybody will die if you call that number."
You got to get that number right, son. You got to get that one right.
Let's see. Jose Taco will not be able to make the meetup. How does he cancel his RSVP? You could private message me on just on Twitter or something. Just private message me or write to Gabe at bigmancomics.com. And I'll have my wife go over the list because that's her job. And we can pull you out of there, Jose Taco. Sorry we won't see you there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Gabe and Jericho, would you give people the guillotine if they come with Cookie Monster pajamas?
The WWE move? Yeah.
Okay.
Move?
The wrestling move.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's not bad enough to take their head off. But.
I thought we were talking the French Revolution. You know,
but yeah, we'll give him the guillotine or give him like the shake, rattle, and roll or something right there.
Speaking of badass people who give awesome moves, Saturday was a very crazy day for things I don't really want to talk about. I'll say it like this, Jericho, and you can say what you want. I haven't been that upset or angry in years.
Right?
It was disgusting and just beneath our country, just beneath any level of dignity. Wow, I'm not going to talk about it because this ain't the place for that right now. But this is where I was when that went down. I was in line to meet one of my heroes, one of the great villains of cinema, the great Bolo Yeung. And
Strong Lee.
I'll say this about him. He was nice. He doesn't speak English. I am a huge dude. And I know that sounds funny, but I forget that. Because you're you, I'm me, you're you, everybody's themselves, and you forget. How big I am is just very normal to me. It's just, no, this is how big people are, right? Like we're all just kind of see things our way. And when I take a picture with someone who is known for being jacked, because he was jacked back in the day, and you can still see it, even though he's 78, he's still got some killer forearms, this guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he can still put it down.
Yeah. And for me to just dwarf him, I'm like, oh yeah, I am a huge, huge person. But it was awesome to meet him, get his autograph. I got a signed poster that I will treasure. And but that's when the horrible news came down. Is right when I was in line to get the photo with him. My wonderful son bought this for me. I saw an ad for this on Instagram, like come meet Bolo Yeung in the Puente Hills Mall, July 13th. And I told my family, oh, I would love this for my birthday. And like 2 minutes later, my son is like, got it. he bought it for me. So that was awesome. He's a good boy.
Yeah. So did he have a translator there with him?
He did, but I didn't talk too much. He was all business, shaking. I said, "Thank you, sir. It's very nice to meet you." It was just like, he just said that, so that was it. So
I wonder how much they paid him.
I don't know. I think it was $100 to get the photo and one autograph. You could buy more autographs, and then you could pay those nerds to authenticate the signature or whatever. Like, okay.
But I mean, the mall. I wonder how much whoever the store owner, how much they
I don't
paid
know.
to get
I mean,
Bolo
there was at least 100 people when I got there, but I got there a little late because we stopped at it was from 3 to 5, but me and my wife were starving, so we stopped at a Trader Joe's where you used to work to buy like a little snack.
Yeah.
So we got there right at 3, and I guess everyone had shown up early. So all the VIPs like me, because not everyone bought a photo because that was more expensive. They had all done their photos, and I was the last one to need a photo, so I didn't have to wait in line for that. So then I did the photo, and then you get back in line to do the autograph and all that. So it was cool. We were probably there for 20 minutes, not long. And then I love using AI because it's like super Google. If you pay for Twitter like I do, I pay for Twitter to have a verified account, but I get paid to use Twitter because I get a lot of engagement. So I make a profit off Twitter. But Twitter comes with Grok, which is a super AI, better than ChatGPT. And it's like Google on super steroids. So I ask it stuff all the day instead of Googling things. And I asked it, what is the best restaurant in Puente Hills? And it said, Ma's Kitchen is known to be great and blah, blah, blah. So we drove a mile to a Chinese Mongolian restaurant, Jericho. When I tell you this is some of the best Asian food I've ever had, but not only that, my wife said, she said, this is one of the best meals I've ever had.
Damn.
Dude, Ma's Kitchen, we had barbecued lamb skewers. We had the xiaolong bao, the soup dumplings with ground up like pork and shiitake mushroom, green onion. We had some chicken fried rice. It was like, that sounds like basic, but it was outstanding. We had orange chicken. Sounds basic, but dude, I've never tasted it like this. We ordered 4 or 5 things, and a cucumber salad with just garlic and like a sauce on it was like gourmet level. My dad's a gourmet chef. Holy cow, this restaurant. If you're near Puente Hills, if you're near Whittier, California, there's a place called Ma's Kitchen that is outrageously good. Outrageous. So, and it was weird. It was weird because I was so excited to meet Bolo. Then the news breaks about Trump, and it's just so upsetting and depressing. And then we go have this meal, and it's like one of the best meals I've had like ever, like so delicious. But we're on our phones, like what's going on, what's happening. So it's just like a weird experience,
Like one of the best meals you've ever had, but with like a cloud over the table.
Right. Jose Taco, it was $73 for 2 people plus tip. You were almost on the money, dude. If this is Price is Right, you would have won. Yes, it was $73. Now, to be fair, we took a ton of food home. We got a lot of food for that much because I wanted to try different stuff. So Ma's Kitchen, Puente Hills, my highest recommendation. Delicious. Hey, Ma.
Not that kind of Ma.
So we'll get to Jaws because it's just outstanding. I told you my Saturday with the backdrop of the insane Trump stuff. What was your Saturday? You said you were at work or something, or you were working. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just about to take my lunch break, when shit popped off. But regular Saturday, got off at a good time. Still had time to hang out with the kids and shit and the wife, and have dinner and watch a movie and stuff. The little things.
But how did it feel to try and be normal, and then that's in the background?
It was a trip. Hearing people walking around, hearing people talk about it. Again, trying to go about your day, but with something like, sitting on your shoulder. Like it's just like in the back of your mind. You just can't. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Were you like mad or sad or because I was just really like, just so upset for my country and just the injustice of it all. And
the anger came later, but it was just disbelief that this happened. What happened, but also what could have happened. If just one thing went differently.
Right.
Just to even try to think about that is just completely insane, even though it's happened in recent history.
Right.
My mom can tell me, what happened the day JFK got assassinated. So it's not like some shit that's hundreds of years in the past. But
no,
that was just so weird and so, like you said, just so un-American-like.
Where do you come down on this? So I've seen a lot of controversy, people I'm friends with fighting with each other about the right wing canceling all the left wing people who were making all the ghoulish comments, laughing about it, so close, all that stuff. And now that, the Libs of TikTok account on Twitter, she just goes after, this is so-and-so, and she's a teacher at Johnson Middle School, blah, 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 and like getting people destroyed and fired and all this. And then people are saying, oh, I thought you hated cancel culture from the left. And I don't think it's the same thing at all. I think if they cancel you, Jericho, for saying a man shouldn't go in a woman's locker room, a girl's locker room, that's different from people laughing about what happened on Saturday, right? And hoping that it had gone the other way, gone the most horrible way. I don't think you can compare those two things at all. And I don't feel sorry for those people getting canned at all.
Those are definitely two incomparable things.
Right.
There's no comparison there. But I must say I'm not a fan of canceling people for what they say. You have to expect, especially now, those people maybe don't even really feel that way, but the fact that they have a camera that they can record themselves and put it out on the internet, possibly go viral. So, but I think, that freedom of speech cuts both ways. Let them say their stupid shit.
Yeah, but how does the left, who has been ruining lives, firing people for wearing MAGA hats, firing people because they spoke out about injections of some sort that I can't, I still look at how I am right now, that I can't even say the V word on here or the COV. I can't look at that, Jericho, that I can't even say that shit on here because of the cancelers that work up there in the main office for this video platform. That's bullshit. And how do we stop them from being that way if you don't fight back? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm a Christian. Sure. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek does not mean, hey, bank robber, when you're done robbing this bank, there's an unguarded one down the street. Why don't you go get that one? That's not what it means. It means not to become the monster they are. It doesn't mean there isn't punishment for crime, right?
For sure. And that is the worst of taste, and it's terrible, but I don't think they should be canceled for it. If they're
here's a good one. Let me ask you this. Jose Taco, I'm going to direct his question to you. You have young children, mine are adults. Would you want your 7, 8, 9-year-old kid having some angry, feminist lady telling your kids that they wished it didn't miss?
Oh no,
would you want someone with judgment like that around your kids?
That would be it for her. But it's not, that would be canceling her. That's punishing her for saying something so vile and disgusting to children.
Right. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
If they're in a certain position, yeah. But if there's just some asshole on the internet, so what? You have to expect that childish behavior for people like that. But it's just crass, rude, childish, petulant behavior.
I remember leaving the autograph and signing with Bolo and then sitting in my truck with my wife looking for a restaurant for lunch because we hadn't eaten that day and it was already 3 or 4 in the afternoon. We're starving, but I remember just also scrolling Twitter because of what happened. And I remember telling my wife, I'm so glad that I've grown up and I won't jump on Twitter, jump on YouTube, jump on somewhere and start saying things that I'm going to regret in 2, 3, 4 days. You know what I mean? And just say the horrible things you're feeling, how angry you are. Yeah. And I think a lot of people fuck that up. So I do see your said word. Hey, have mercy. People said awful things that they probably didn't mean because they let their emotion get out. It's a very complex issue. That's why I asked you. Because I know some of those people said that worse stuff about they wish it had happened. They probably didn't mean it. They just didn't know how to deal with themselves emotionally.
Well, you have to, when you're dealing with kids, you have to be the adult. And sometimes being an adult, being the responsible one, being the one who's right, not necessarily on the right, but who is right, is you have to fucking just let that shit go. You just have to fucking let them do it. Let them say it. Fuck it. And it's just, and look at them. You'll never see a fucking supermodel, male or female, saying shit like that. So life's already gotten them back. Let them say their stupid bullshit that only 15 people are going to see. And we will get our gratification. We will get our revenge, whatever you want to call it, come November. Because when Trump gets in office, all of those people are going to lose their fucking mind. They're going to be crying. They're going to be doing all kinds of stupid shit. And that will be our revenge. That will be our canceling right there. Is when he gets in office and they just fucking lose it. Yeah.
And they did say today that Biden has COVID. Yeah.
So no, wait a minute. Yeah, that can't be true because he told us that if you get this stuff, then you can't get it and you can't give it.
Right.
So what happened? What happened with that?
So Scott Adams has this great thing where if you want to break bad news to your kids because the cat got run over by the mailman, you tell your kids the cat is on the roof. You tell them the cat is sick. And then you tell them, the cat is at the vet. And then you tell them the cat's not coming home. So he calls it the cat's on the roof. So when they say Biden has COVID, it's like, oh, the cat's on the roof. He's going to drop out. They just got to slowly do it, slowly slip it in there,
And he already said that if doctors were to say something, were to give him a diagnosis or something like that, then that would be one of the short list of things that he's going to.
That wasn't the full quote. The full quote was, if doctors tell me something and I'm lucid enough to understand them, then I will drop out.
Well, we know that second part has already passed. That second part's already happened. He is not lucid at all.
Right.
Fucking crazy. But, that November for us will be like having a little cousin or a younger sibling just being a complete little shit, and you finally see them get in trouble. You finally see them get their
It's
ass
when the
whooped.
bad guy gets punched at the end of the 80s teen comedy, The bad guy bully gets punched and like falls into the middle of the birthday cake at the party, and everyone finally laughs at the bad guy, the bully.
There you go. November will be that for us. So let them act stupid. Let them say their shit. Let them dig their hole. Let them hang themselves. Because once they have to utter the words that Donald Trump will be president-elect of the 2024 election.
It's going to feel so good.
All I can say is when they say that, just make sure you guys are standing on a tarp, a towel, or something, because you are going to climax.
And I got a fresh new one. I got a fresh new one.
And depending on whose lips those words come out of, you could climax even harder. Because when you hear the Joy Reids, the View, and people of that ilk have to utter those words, and how much those words burn their tongue when they say it, that will be our revenge. That will be the bad guy getting punched and falling into the table with the punch bowl on it.
Right. I do like them saying that they don't want to live in his authoritarian, tyrannical nightmare. They can't live in a country he's running. And it's like, you lived in it for 4 years, and we had the most peace and prosperity that we've had in like 70 years. He was the first president in 70 years to not start a war. What do you mean you can't live under him? You did, and it was amazing until the lockdowns happened, and that wasn't his fault.
But he's Hitler. So no matter what good he does, it's the buts.
But like, do they not remember how good 17 through the end of 19 was? It was literally the best this country has been in like 70 years.
Tonight at 8:30 Central and Mountain, it's the Yabbits. But he said this, and but he said that, and but look at how we were living. Well, how was your pocket? How was your pocket doing? How was your bank account doing? How was your business doing?
I mean, it was amazing. And for every demo, by the way, not just the white man, for every demo, it was better than ever. Home ownership wages for every demo was historically good. Shrapnel, only monsters wish death on. Yeah, they said Biden has COVID. I don't believe that. I think it's propaganda so he can withdraw. But if he does, I don't wish anything ill on him. My Christian faith would tell me to never do that. And just my humanity. You don't do that. You don't cheer for sickness and death for anyone, dude. Because the thing I do, and I don't try to do it, it comes naturally to me, is anyone, the most vile person you can think of, I picture them as Big Baby. Like they were a cute, innocent baby at one point. Things went wrong. They made bad choices. Now they're an awful adult. But they have humanity, dude. They do. And it's awful to wish evil on people. And I think there's you reap what you sow, some bad juju if you be in wishing evil on people.
Well,
the Bible says to pray for your enemies, by the way.
Here's some good news. So Jack Black and Kyle Gass, their tour got canceled, and Kyle Gass got dropped from his talent agency because of what he said at their concert. So yeah, some karma comes a lot quicker than other times and then Jack Black was like, I was blindsided by that. I had no idea. Way to throw your homeboy under the bus.
Right. That's your friend, huh?
Yeah, you just don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Don't go to X or Instagram. Just shut the fuck up.
Well,
but he threw his homeboy under the bus.
Crisis reveals character. Everyone is friends when it's all happy and the money's being made. But when the shit goes down, the masks come off, dude. And you
straight
see,
up
oh,
said,
that guy I thought was my friend was full of shit.
what a dick. Why don't say anything? The art of keeping your mouth closed has been lost. Don't say anything. That's it. You don't gotta say nothing. You don't gotta throw your homeboy under the bus. You don't have to do shit. Maybe just keep it vanilla. Oh, due to recent events, we're canceling the rest of our tour. But you don't say, I was blindsided. I didn't. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's insane the temperature this has reached. And a lot of it is driven by people who don't care. They don't care about left or right at all. They're like, hey, this makes us money because we got news channels and people go crazy watching their side. You know what I mean? The division is money for these people. And they get us all screaming and fighting at each other over nonsense. You know, so because you would never talk this way to someone the way you talk to them on Twitter or whatever, like sitting at a table discussing. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you wouldn't do this. Like it's insane the inhuman thing we can do on online because it's not a person. It's just like text on Twitter. It's just like letters, characters in front of us.
Yeah, and a profile picture. It's not a real person. A lot of the shit people say online, they would never say to somebody's face. No fucking way.
And well, A, out of fear probably, but B, they wouldn't even want to because now there's humanity. There's a person in front of you.
Yeah.
Like they're real. They're not just a couple characters on a screen. So I don't know, completely crazy.
Crazy.
So I see the humanity even in my enemies. I do. And you know, you gotta be merciful, you gotta be kind. You do have to believe in justice, but the Bible says a couple things. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. God, vengeance is for God, not for you. And I think part of that is if we seek vengeance, then it will blacken our souls. We will become the monsters that we were trying to fight. But it says it's about reaping what you sow. He who digs a pit will fall in it. He who tries to roll a stone on another, that stone will roll back and fall on him. So guys, don't do bad things to people because it will come back, you know. Now, speaking of revenge, I don't think any of this applies to animals.
Nope.
So if you got to hunt down a man-eating shark with your buddies in a scuba tank that you blow up in his face, well, I don't have a problem with it.
Do it. Fucking do it.
Jaws was a menace.
Yeah, he was a son of a bitch, you know. He really was.
What do you think Jaws' problem was? Do you think he was just not understood? He had a rough childhood.
Daddy issues, man. For sure. It all comes from daddy issues. His dad left him and his three baby brother sharks and the mama shark. He dipped out.
His dad went out for blood and never came back.
Never came back, dude. He went out for a swimmer. Never came back.
People always talk about what Jaws did, but they never ask about how Jaws felt. You know what I mean?
What made him the bloodthirsty monster that he was. Nobody asked what's Jaws' story. They just said, hey,
no one got
a bunch of people.
Jaws' side of the story. Can you imagine some left-wing Trader Joe's like employee just trying to defend Jaws for eating kids or whatever?
Well, you know, there's always those women who write letters to murderers and marry them and shit. So there's always going to be some fucker who would come to the fucking aid to the defense of Jaws. I was talking about my wife about that the other day. Like, not all women, but crazy ones. They like fall in love with a mass murderer and they go and have conjugal visits at the prison and they get married at the prison and they're writing letters. And I'm just like, and then it got me thinking about dudes that have a lot of problem dating, getting lucky and all this stuff. And I'm like, this dude's in prison for eating 4 people and he's having 5 women a month. You're out here on the outside and you can't get a date. Like, what a dope. Well, they like the bad boys. Oh, he's so bad, but he's locked up, so he can't hurt you. So they can play with fire and not worry about getting burned.
I think something primal in the woman's brain. You tell me if I'm right about this. About why they like the bad boy, the dangerous man, is because it's competency, it's power, and women see us as creatures that can do things for them, provide, protect. And if you're strong and you're brutal and you're a killer, I think a woman can misunderstand that as he's the big dog. He's the chief. He's the one who can make me and our kids successful and safe. I think they misunderstand what the killer's power means. Because look at Beauty and the Beast. The female fantasy there of wanting the monster, but he's not a monster to her. You know what I mean? He has all that power and savagery, but it never turns on her. So I don't know.
Yeah, they want a bad boy with an on and off switch.
Right. Yeah, Jose Taco, he says, I can change him.
Yeah. They want to have that guy, but only until he comes home at night.
In
Then
Spanish, it's no más cuando tú quieres, only when you want. He's a bad guy only when you want. You know?
He's a thug and everything. He's an asshole out in the world. When he comes home, he's Fabio. He rips off his fucking shirt. And he has muscles, and he tells her how beautiful she is and makes passionate love to her.
Do you want to make passionate love after I finish the dishes, my darling?
Yeah, you are the most beautiful creature I have ever
seen. You know what I
seen.
think is hilarious? If you ask women, is it a turn on if your man does the house chores? They'll all say yes. I love how women just lie to themselves. Then actual real scientific study shows when men do domestic house chores, vacuuming, cooking, cleaning, laundry, the woman's sex drive goes down when they watch men do that.
Fucking nosedive.
There's real research that shows that is absolutely 100% true. Women will tell you to a woman, they will all tell you they love it and it's a turn on. It absolutely is not. They hate it when we do that and they won't admit it to themselves.
It's too bad.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know. I don't do things like laundry. Wouldn't know.
Don't do it. Don't touch the stuff. Yeah, my wife does the laundry.
Hey, I wear them. I don't clean them.
Like I do sometimes or something I want washed or something like that. But she usually, for the most part, she does it.
No, my wife's the best. I don't have to do that stuff. No, thank you. So Jaws. Now, I had never seen Jaws until 2 days ago. It's outstanding. Everyone knew that already. But I was impressed. I had heard it was good, but holy cow, is it good. Just the characterization. I got to get a hold of the book because I'm an avid reader. I love books. I love audiobooks. And if the movie's this good, the book must be insanely good. Mm-hmm. Maybe the book is a dud. I don't know, but usually the book is better than the movie, and the movie's outrageously good. So the book must be just amazing. So I'm gonna have to get a hold of that. Did you see this movie for the first time like me, or did you see this since you were little, or what's the deal?
No, I've seen it before, but it's been years, decades. Since I've seen it. So it was like seeing it for the first time, but what a great, especially looking at it with a more analytical eye.
A refined movie palette.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Everything, the supporting cast, the stars, because the sheriff, I guess he was the main character, Brody, but as the movie went on, other characters definitely stole some of that.
Hooper is outstanding. Robert Shaw as Quint is so good.
Yeah. Quint, Hooper, those guys, they're
even the guy that plays the mayor. He has enough greaseball politician on him without being a cartoon character. It's like a realistic.
He had a good character arc.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a piece of shit. The mayor's a piece of shit. Everybody, the supporting cast, the main characters were amazing. Yeah. The score, again, I always say
John Williams.
That that's another character in itself. Everything was just
didn't John Williams do aligned. Star Wars? Didn't he also do Superman's theme? He did Jaws. He did Indiana Jones. John Williams did everything that was amazing. Like he's the ultimate, movie score guy. So holy cow. Can you imagine having, dun, 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 dun. You have Darth Vader's theme. Dun, 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 dun. You have Indiana Jones theme. You have Jaws theme. Didn't he also do Back to the Future, John Williams? Like he's done everything, this guy, right?
Every foundational movie from the 80s, he had his hand in it. And this had a lot of, especially the shark music, had a lot of horns. Because different instruments are going to have us feeling different things throughout the movie. The strings for maybe a sad moment or a romantic moment, and then a lot of percussion and horns and shit for the scarier stuff. But man, this was great all the way around.
Let's see. I'm going to look on his Wikipedia here. So he's done a million movies. I'm going to go through the big ones. Jaws, Star Wars, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, The Fury, Jaws 2, Superman. Let's see. Golly, Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Return of the Jedi, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. And he's done way more, but I'm just naming a few famous ones. Superman 4, Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, Born on the 4th of July, Presumed Innocent. I didn't know that one. Hook, JFK, Jurassic Park, Home Alone. Oh, what the hell? Schindler's List. The guy cannot be stopped.
You can't miss.
Saving Private Ryan. The new Star Wars from the 90s. The Patriot. Harry Potter. I didn't know that. The guy does every. You can't stop this guy. Holy cow, dude!
So you want to hit?
And it just goes on and on and on and on. This guy. Jeez. Go look it up. Go look on Wikipedia. This guy, John Williams, greatest movie composer of all time. It's got to be. Jeez.
Is he gold?
Yeah, he is the Jaws of movie composing.
He's the Jaws.
Huge, powerful, and unstoppable.
I bet his price tag's pretty big.
They probably got to pay him a few bucks to do these. Yeah. He's still around. He's like in his 90s. I've never done it, but maybe I should. So in Hollywood, California, there's a place called the Hollywood Bowl. It's an outdoor amphitheater right there when you get off the, I think the 101 freeway near. Anyway, it's in Hollywood, and it's an outdoor amphitheater, and they do all kinds of concerts there. And I've seen him do he'll do the Star Wars soundtrack there or the Indiana Jones soundtrack. Now he's very old, but I've seen him do a few there. Maybe I should go while he's still around. That would be fun. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. So should we get into it? You ready to get into it?
Let's go.
Okay. Hey, man. So this is 1975, right?
Yeah.
So we still have hippies around, but we're getting into that ugliness of America, the end of the Vietnam War, the gas and oil shortages, the problems with Iran. Who's president in 75? Is it going to be Ford has taken over for the step down Nixon, or is it Carter just yet? I don't know who it is. I'm a little too young to remember.
Carter was 78.
Well, yeah. So Reagan comes in 80. So this would be the very end of Ford, I suppose. So this is a very ugly time in American culture. Very a lot of anger and all that. Let me see. I think it's got to be Ford, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Gerald Ford. It was Gerald
Ford.
Right. Let's see. Sorry, I'm doing another Wikipedia here. Yeah, he was president until 77. And then in the beginning of 77, then that's when the old peanut farmer himself, Jimmy Carter, takes over. So you got a bonfire at the beach. Have you done bonfires at the beach?
Oh yeah, whether we're allowed to do it or not. Yeah,
it's a huge thing here in Southern California. It is. I'm sure it's a huge thing anywhere there's a beach. I've only done it a few times. I'm usually a daytime beach guy or a morning beach guy, but it's delightful to be at the beach at night. You make the s'mores. Everybody sits around. Then that one dude busts out the guitar trying to pick up all the chicks. Do you know about this guy? You seen this guy in action?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you're growing up on the coast, you do a lot of beach-based activities and bonfires, and inevitably somebody's pulling out the fucking guitar. But more power to him if it worked.
What is the number one song the douchey guitar guy does to enchant the ladies? I have mine in my head that I saw when I was college age, high school age. I know this song. What is the song that you think of first when you think of guitar guy at the party?
Probably who did Oasis?
Oasis? The band Oasis, or is there a
Oasis.
song?
Yeah, I think Oasis was the band. What was their fucking?
Is it Wonderwall? Was their big
yeah.
hit? Yeah, Wonderwall.
Yeah.
No, the song I think of, 1991 or 2 by Extreme.
More than words.
Saying I love you. Yeah, that is the song, dude. The guy busts out the guitar and all the girls like, "Aww."
Oh, me, close up.
Right.
Yep.
Right, that's the song. Stairway to Heaven might be one. That's old though. I think you got to be a boomer to be doing that. See, here it is. Yeah, Hearty Harmonica, More Than Words, indeed. This movie is why Toodleskay, I think the name, is why her short ass doesn't go out in the ocean 50 years after seeing this movie. The shark does not bother me at all in this movie. I grew up surfing, go to the beach, all that. I'm not scared of that really at all. What disturbs me, and there's no spoiler here, this is a 49-year-old movie. What disturbed me the most, I was telling you, Jericho, before the show, was Brody, the sheriff, on the boat as it sunk at the end. And there's a little bit of boat, a little bit less, and by the time he's standing on 2 feet of mast, that is scary to me, that you're out in the ocean and the boat just sinks like that. That is awful to me, dude. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was very scary. But when you're a kid and you see that, the shark, that's it. A lot of those other things are going right over your head. But that shark,
To be fair, I saw Jaws a week and a half before my 46th birthday, so the shark didn't really scare me.
Yeah, it didn't have the same effect.
Right. Yeah. See, she makes the point. She was 13. I was 40, 45 and 9/10. So yes, you are correct, Toodleskate. You are correct.
Yeah, to see that at any young age, teenager and below, yeah, man, that scared the shit out of
you. Yeah. I would scare myself when I was like 10 in the pool at the High Country West Swim Club that I love to go to. I would go underwater and close my eyes and think about sharks and octopus and all this gross stuff. And then I'd open my eyes and jump out of the pool. It's like you're in a damn pool. There's no sharks in it.
So that child imagination, don't forget about it.
I saw a thing where you could go pay to watch Jaws on like an outdoor blow up drive. Those blow up drive through.
Oh yeah, I've seen that shit. That looks crazy.
Here's the kicker: it was in a little lake or a lagoon near the ocean, and you sit on inner tubes in the water while you watch Jaws.
Genius.
That is brilliant, dude.
Genius.
Brilliant.
Oh,
I would want to be the guy slowly, quietly diving under the water and going up and grabbing people's legs.
Man.
I do that all the time to my wife at the beach. We'll be swimming around and I'll grab her foot or whatever like that. I always do.
But I'm guessing most people are sitting with their ass in the inner tube and not like, with their body in the water and the inner tube under their arms. I don't think anybody was doing that. Everybody's sitting there with just their ass in the water because you're scared as shit no matter what.
It would be freaky to watch this in the water. It would.
That's genius. That's fucking genius. That's American ingenuity.
Yeah, that's right. She would blame Baywatch for her fear of sharks. Somehow I was a teenager, a young man, full of vim and vigor. I still am. And I never saw Baywatch. All the guys would talk about it in high school, like junior year and senior year. Did you see so-and-so? She's running down the beach. Everything's jiggling. I never watched it. I don't know. I missed out somehow.
I never watched it when it was on. Yeah. I saw it as an adult, but
you binge watch it now?
I understand. My third time watching all the seasons. My son watched it for a little while too. He was into it for like a few months.
Oh, you guys?
Because it's like it's like G-rated, PG TV shit. Like, really? There's no love scenes or anything like that, and it's it's very kid friendly. Like, it's nothing crazy.
Okay.
But the women, it's not like they zoom in on their tits. It's just
they just look nice
around, and they're one pieces. So it's not that.
Yeah, this is the 90s. Yeah, this isn't today where the bathing suit's that big, like a postage stamp with the shoestring on it.
Yeah, with a dick in front. So it was okay for him to watch for a little while. Okay. Yeah, he liked Baywatch, and it was all about Hasselhoff and shit and the stupid. It got to a point where it was like Fast and the Furious. They started out as just some street races, and now they're fucking like getting nuclear weapons back from these foreign countries. So it turned into these fucking lifeguards are now solving murders and all this shit. So
didn't Hulk Hogan have a short-lived like UPN? UPN was a channel in the late 90s, guys.
Thunder in Paradise.
Right. I was gonna say Thunder in Tampa or something. Lightning in Tampa. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Thunder in Paradise. Yeah, that was the end of the souped up whatever era, whether it be a van, a truck. They had a boat, a really cool speedboat.
I'm looking that up real quick. Thunder in Paradise. Let's see. Oh, is this a movie or is this a TV show?
It might be both, but I know it was a TV show.
Oh, it looks like it's well, there's Thunder in Paradise and Thunder in Paradise 2. It might be a movie.
No, it was a TV show.
Huh. I have no idea. Maybe it was both. Maybe there's a movie and then there was a show. We'll have to ask him later. But there's some of it right there. Thunder in Paradise. That's I won't make it. That's too dirty of a joke. Anyway, moving on. Bunch of hippies sitting around the fire, man.
Smoking the devil's lettuce. Teenage shit.
Right.
And then they like lock eyes and he doesn't even say anything. He just walks over to him. She just gets up, runs away, like playfully, like, come chase after me. Do I have your consent to chase you? But anyway.
Hello, my pronouns are Zir. Do I have consent to be attracted to you and chase after you tonight, young lady?
Please. And if I can't, you know, it's fine.
Can you
So he
imagine?
chases after her, and she has some big old personalities, by the way.
Right.
Jeez,
Can you imagine a romance novel? The kind that ladies like to read. I think they call them a bodice ripper, the kind that Fabio's on the cover of. But it's written with all the woke consent stuff in it. Can you imagine like 50 Shades of Grey for the ladies? But it's written all wokey, like, and then he asked for my consent to nuzzle the nape of my neck.
That's like pulling the e-brake on a story. Like, what? You don't need, you're not supposed to ask. You just feel the mood, the vibe. You know, you're supposed to have this male female back and forth. She's bringing all her primal shit, you're bringing all your primal shit, and you figure out you don't fucking ask. That's hitting the e-brake.
Can I kiss you now?
Oh my god!
You know what the answer to that question is? What the answer to that question better be? It better be no. And, no, the answer to that question, can I kiss you now, is not now, not ever. No.
No, the answer is hand me my pants.
Yeah.
Hand me my shirt. I'm fucking out of here.
Right.
You might as well just make her, like, how do I make her vagina not moist? You're
gonna make it feel shut asking shit like that.
Ka-doom.
You'll get that Law and Order, that slamming sound.
Oh no, not the Law and Order. It's over. You might as well go home.
Remember that you were getting pretty good at an iced tea impersonation. There's a new drug on the 3. They call it cheese.
Yeah, that means you're gay. IT. Yeah, you want to make a vagina get dry? Just ask for consent from IT.
So anyway, these hippies are sitting around a bonfire, smoking weed. Cutie with the blonde hair is like, "Oh, chase me!" Rips her shirt off, runs off. He's so drunk he like gets half of his clothes off, and he can't get in. And then she goes for a night swim, which, as a San Diegan, I live very close to the beach, and I grew up going there, surfing and swimming and all that. And you don't go swimming in the dark. It's a horrible idea. Don't do it. Don't go swimming in the dark. Don't do it. That's how things happen. That's how you end up on the news.
Oh, is that a fish? I don't know what that is. I'm a shark. I have that eyesight.
I mean, it's not even about that. It's just about drowning and nobody can see you because it's dark.
So many things. So many dumb things.
You know what's amazing? I didn't go see it. It was like 2-3 weeks ago here, and it was like 3-4 years ago I did go see it. There's an algae that glows blue in the water, like the movie Avatar, like unbelievable. Bioluminescence. And it was like Star Wars, like Avatar, like glowing blue.
Yeah.
But the thing about this algae is it doesn't glow unless it's stirred up. So the water's black at night when you go, and when you step on the wet sand, it goes blue, blue, blue around your feet. If you jump in the shallow water, it's night. I'm not going to the deep water at night. When it's blue around your feet, and when the waves come in and crash, they glow blue right where it's cresting. Yeah. It's
like glow sticks.
Yeah,
like that kind of bright light is just like a glow stick. It's crazy, man. It makes you like just put you in awe of nature when you see shit like that, because it looks like man-made glow stick, fluid, whatever that is. But no, that's Mother Nature, brother.
Yeah, I went and saw it in person with my wife because I'd heard about it, and you know, it's every once in a while, every couple of years or whatever. So I went and saw it, and it was truly amazing. It was really something to see. I'm going to bring up a video of it for you guys, and I swear we'll get through this movie. I swear, because it's a good one. But okay, here's Fox 5 San Diego. I'm going to play their video real quick because they have a good video of it I just found. Let's see. Present, stop screen, present, then share screen. Share screen. Come on, man. Share screen, bioluminescence.
You know the thing.
There she is. You know the thing.
Thing, man.
Yeah, here it is.
Well, this is a pretty cool thing to see, a blue glow once again taking over.
That's real, guys. That's really how it looks.
You see San Diego captured some of the bioluminescence near the Scripps Pier in La Jolla. You can see the boat streaming trail changing the color of the water. The neon tides are formed by agitated phytoplankton. It's unclear exactly how long this will last, but previous events have gone on from 1 week to nearly 2 months.
Always an incredible.
Crazy to see that in person.
Mother Nature, she crazy.
Yo, she crazy, dude. So anyway, she runs in, she goes swimming. He tries to follow, but he's so drunk he just falls down and lays right where the surf is crashing. And
missed out. You know what would have happened? Well, I mean, he would have gotten killed if he followed her in the water, but potentially could have got something stupid. She passed out.
Right. And then you get that dun, 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 and you get the view from below, and then he eats her. He eats her feet first.
But she was like getting pulled under the water, and she'd come back up, screaming, help me, help me. And she thought she was safe on that buoy. Then she got yanked under again. Like it went on for a couple of minutes. And that lady just died earlier this year who played
in real life.
Art. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But so her art has imitated life. But yeah, this was the opening scene. This was scary. Still, you don't see the shark. You don't see it. It's just, you know what's there, you know?
Right.
Ponderosa Point? No. I have
no idea what that is. Did she skinny dip? Not for long. Just very briefly, and then she was eaten.
Yeah, she had a lot of skinny, but not a lot of dipping.
No. Oscar Gonzalez, a little midnight gobble. I guess so. Joe Mello, has anyone read the book? I want to, because the movie's so good, the book must be amazing. I remember I read the Rambo book. It's called First Blood by David Morrell. The movie's so good, right? First Blood. The book, insane. The book, same with Dune, same with everything, right? The book is always just insane. So I will get a hold of the Jaws book now that I've seen the movie and I was just so impressed. I'll get a hold of the book. And then we'll do Gabe's book review, Gabe's book quarter. So then we wake up in the beachfront home of Sheriff of Amity Island. Amity means like friendship, right? Because amigo and ami in French. And so I would assume Amity means like friendliness or a kind feeling. Amity Island. It's an idyllic place. Is this in Connecticut, right, Jericho, or somewhere?
Martha's Vineyard.
Is that Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I think so. Is it?
I don't know. Anyway, it's up there, the northeasterness, you know. And
because he makes fun of the accent,
right?
In the beginning of the movie.
Oh, because he's saying something about cars, taking a car.
Yeah, she's all, this is New England now, so you have to say it certain ways, like, oh yeah, like the kids going to the pack in the car, like he fucking says a few words making fun of the accent because they're from New York. Oh, so there are a couple city slickers from New York City moving up there. Yeah, it's Massachusetts.
Okay. Amity means friendship, peaceful harmony. Okay, that's what I thought, because I was looking at it like the word amigo and ami in French and amiable and all that stuff. Amityville Horror. No, this is Amity Island. That's Amityville, and that's a scary movie I've never seen. So Sheriff Bodie, he is from New York, and he's a one-man gang here in Amity Island, right? We got the one sheriff, and then his
deputy. One deputy.
Right.
Very Mayberry-ish.
Right. So so you see his idyllic, beautiful home, his beautiful wife, his son, who comes in. He had been playing outside and he slashed his hand, and his mom's putting a bandage on it and all that. And he says bye-bye. He jumps in his awesome convertible truck because he's got to go look at something, because they got a call. They found a body down by the beach.
Yep.
You know,
by the water.
That hippie that was with the girl who didn't get in the water with her, I guess he called the police to say she was missing.
Yeah.
And then I guess the deputy, they found something.
Well, the kid meets him down there. Like the spot he last saw her. Now take a mental picture of this image, because this sign will come in later in the movie.
Right. You got a woman in a bikini enjoying the waters of Amity Island. Welcomes you to the 50th annual regatta, July 4th through the 10th. And at this point, it's like a couple days before, right?
Yeah. A couple days before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Regatta time.
So yeah, they get to the beach, and this guy looks at the sheriff's deputy, the man in the hat and the blue coat. He looks like he's ready to vomit. He's very disturbed. He's running his hands through the sand.
He starts blowing his whistle, and then he like just collapses on the sand and like turns his back to the crime scene. He can't look. Which you think you're a fucking law enforcement officer, but you know they're not used to that.
Right. And
Amityville.
all you see is a hand, and these I think they're little horseshoe. No, they're not horseshoe crabs. What kind of? I don't know. They're little crabs just crawling on.
Yeah.
Horseshoe crabs are big. What am I talking about? There's crabs crawling because obviously eating what's left of this woman.
Yeah.
And it ain't good. Just some fingers sticking up there with the seaweed.
Yeah, and a bunch of crabs all over. Yeah, not a lot of gory imagery in this movie. There's some, like especially towards the end, but you'll see a lot of like blood in the water, and there's a few here and there, but a lot of it is just filled with little shots like that, not showing you too much, letting your imagination run wild from there. And like you always mention, this movie starts in the middle of something. Starts in the middle of a bonfire, in the middle of these two young people, starting to like each other.
Right. Yeah, I'm writing script today. I'm working on one of my books I'll be announcing at Comic-Con next week, and I always start scenes in the middle. You don't start a scene at the beginning. You always start in the middle because that will establish in the viewer, the reader's mind, this is real. It makes it so much more real to start in the middle. Mm-hmm. So, because like here, they jump to the police station. His secretary's giving him, oh, so-and-so called this, that, and the other, and he's filling out the cause of death thing. He writes shark attack. They don't show him leave the beach, drive to the gas station, fill up the gas tank, then drive to his office and say, hey, Carol, I'm here, and then go in and there's some mail for you. You don't show all that. You just start in the middle of a scene. It's so much more effective. It really is. So yeah. So he's right off the bat. This is a shark attack, right? Like it's terrible. She was butchered. She was eaten.
The medical examiner is on the phone with him, telling him what the cause of death is. So that's who he's getting this from.
Right. And then you get some more background on him as a character. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. I have a fan blowing on me, made it a little dry. He's walking through town because he wants to go to the hardware store because he wants to pick up supplies to build signs and like hand paint them. Beach closed. But as he walks through town, it's like, hey, Sheriff Brody. Hey, Sheriff Brody. This guy, that guy. He knows it's small town America. And this old man that owns the bike shop or the bike rental is complaining about something, and different people keep talking to him. And that's just establishing that he's a trusted figure in this neighborhood, trusted and respected, with a lot of responsibility. So, so you get to know that. He goes into the hardware store, he gets some paint, he gets some stakes, he gets some boards, and then the deputy shows back up, and he has to run off somewhere else. What is the deputy telling me he has to run off to do? And he hands the painting and all that supplies to the deputy, but where's he running off to? I forget.
I think he's running off to to get on that ferry.
Right.
And go look at something else. And then that's when the mayor pulls up in his car and literally loads his car on the ferry with him and starts talking to him because they're looking for him right there.
Right.
That's the mayor and his little fucking, his little cronies, and they're looking for the sheriff right there. Or the chief.
Right. Yeah. They want to talk to the sheriff or the police chief, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Police chief. I keep calling him a sheriff, but he's a police chief, I guess. And the man, so they're on a ferry. He was going to go look at something else. The police. Brody is what we'll call him. That's the main character in the tan jacket on the left. He was going to go look at something, and the mayor wants to stop him like, hey, we got all these tourists coming in.
Oh,
go ahead.
I remember what he was going to go do. The deputy told him that there were a group of Boy Scouts doing their 1 mile swim.
Oh, that's right.
And he wanted to get out there and stop him to get him out of the water.
That's right. So I think one of the best things about this movie is how it plays with anxiety and terror.
Mm-hmm.
The shark, the music, you never really see the shark until way later. The Boy Scouts are doing a 1 mile swim for their badge. All you can think is they're going to be eaten. That's all you can think. So they just play with that so much, the horror that you don't see. The lady's dead body on the beach, you just see fingers. They don't show you the guts and what might be left of this, that, or the other. They don't show it. That's so well done. It's amazing craft. So that the medical examiner is the gentleman with his foot on the rail there.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, it was a shark attack for sure. I know, I'm the medical examiner. Now you see the corruption of government. Now money comes first. The mayor's here and he's like, hey man, we can't be scaring off all the tourists. This is a summer economy little town.
Yep.
Maybe it was a boating accident. Maybe it was something else. And the medical examiner who said it was a shark attack is now like,
right.
I think it was a boat. I think it was a boat propeller. She's swimming at night. Somebody hit her. They didn't know they hit her. And, I don't think it wasn't a shark. It was a boat.
And he asked him, he said, you're going to stand by that? He's like, yeah, I stand by that. It's like, you motherfucker.
And yeah, that's just awful. But that is so believable, right?
Yeah, definitely. Even back then, even almost 50 years ago. Yeah,
Right.
it's still the same.
I think that's just humanity, because I think whenever you have a big bureaucracy, people don't feel directly responsible. It's that whole, well, I was just following orders. It's not my fault. You know what I mean? Because the buck doesn't stop with me. I just work for the mayor. You know what I mean? And he pointed out to me, well, maybe it was a boat. Maybe it wasn't a shark. And you got to think about the businesses. They can't all, the ice cream shop and the tourist, the souvenir shop. We can't close them on the 4th of July. Everybody comes here. We make all our money then.
Yeah.
So you see the emotional conflict right there.
This is their money season.
So now we get to this scene, and this is brutal, man. You have this little boy here with his mom, and she doesn't want him to go out, and he kind of convinces her that he's going to go back out on his little inflatable, not quite a boogie board, but just some little inflatable thing he's going to paddle around in, and he heads back out into the water.
Now, keep in mind, the chief Brody, he wanted to close the beach. He had the signs. He told the deputy to make the signs. I want this beach closed. But the mayor, who's his boss, says, well, maybe it was something else. You got the medical examiner backpedaling. So now he's not going to close the beach. So now this scene is a little more fucked up.
Right. So there he is, his wife in her black swimsuit and sunglasses. They look all American. They look put together. They look sophisticated and successful. And he's a pillar of the community. And I'm sure she's a great wife that gave him 2 wonderful kids. And he seems to take his job very damn seriously. You know, he's a serious man. Now, I know he's just an actor, but he's in shape, and he's got to be, between 40 and 50, but he's in great physical condition for his age. And that says something about his character, right? That a man who doesn't let himself just become a slob in his 40s, that's someone who's disciplined and, he has moral fiber and stuff like that. I think it speaks to the character that way. And it does not go well for the little boy swimming.
Damn it. Damn it.
Now, should we get the shark side of the story?
Yeah, you don't know what drove the shark to do this. Maybe he had some trauma. Maybe he was dealing with anxiety. He had bipolar disorder. So, you can't just blame the shark. Just say, oh, he did it. Well, the question is, why did he do it?
Right. Now, we tried to get Jaws for this show because we wanted to ask him, defend it and shit. But I found I didn't know, no one had seen Jaws since Jaws 3. No one had heard from him. And I guess he had died years ago in Hollywood, but he died drug addicted, and he died on the street, and he was buried in an unmarked grave is what they found out. So we don't have Jaws.
That's unfortunate.
I thought we were going to have him. You know what I mean? But we could, what do you think about bringing in another man-eater, Barney, and asking him some questions?
Well, they're all kind of on that, in that carnivore group, so he may be able to shed some light. So, and speaking of the Jaws movies, after part 2, don't watch them. Don't waste your time.
No?
3 and 4 are fucking comically.
Which one is Michael Caine in?
4.
Okay. Matthew Marsden, our good friend, he told me that Michael Caine told him, I guess. I think this was from Matthew. I could be getting this wrong. Someone told me that someone made fun of Michael Caine for how could you make that piece of crap Jaws 4 or whatever? And he said something like, oh yeah, I'll cry about it in my mansion or my Lamborghini or whatever.
That it paid for.
I got paid. Okay, why don't you come?
Yeah, I think Matt did tell us that.
Yeah. So we don't have Jaws. He has since tragically passed, but we do have a different guest that I could bring in. Now this is controversial. He hasn't been on the show before, but he had emailed me when he found out we were doing this. Guys, welcome to the show for the first time ever. Jaws Jr., how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
So, did you know your father very well, or was it kind of a distant thing? Or,
well, between the movies and the spells with the drinking and the drugs, he was around sometimes. Usually after he'd leave, my ma would have a ribeye steak over her eye or something like that.
The drinking. Yeah, I heard he used to drink like a fish. I'm
It's
sorry. That was in poor taste.
hey, you know, whatever. If you're gonna get the low hanging fruit, I can just get the fuck out of here.
Hey, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Was very rude to say that to your people.
It's you people.
Well, it's just something humans say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's drink like
Well,
a fish.
it's already tough enough me watching this movie, and now you're in here making your fucking jokes.
Do you feel like your father kind of gave you and your family like a bad name, like a bad rap? You know what I mean?
Yeah, every time I go to the beach, I like to see people, you know, splashing in the water and
Okay.
things like that. I want to play too. But
Do you
since
get harassed by like fishermen and families swimming like, hey Sharky, get out of here, like
yeah,
stuff
get the
like
fuck out of here. And they're like shooting harpoons and stuff at me and shark, and they'll go running back on shore. It's very hurtful.
that? Now, I noticed you're a little close in there. Is there any way you could maybe like just back up a little, or is
How
that
am I supposed to do that?
well? I mean, I think the tank we got for you was.
You brought me here, and now you're complaining about my position.
I'm just saying your teeth, they're just a little close. If you wouldn't.
Hey,
Just,
what do you want me to do? I'm an apex predator.
okay, there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
that
you.
better?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I just
Yeah,
you were,
okay.
you know, I mean, your teeth there, you take good care of them. They look great. You look
Hey,
great.
This is what I was born with.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna sit there and excuse me. You're
It's all
gonna
right.
sit there and make fun of what I was given. Mother Nature, God gave me these teeth. What do you want me to do?
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any advice? Like a lot has changed since 1975. It's, near 50 years later. Do you have any advice for people that want to avoid, tempting you guys into making a snack out of us?
Look, the waters that I live in are as American as the land that they meet up with. You're free to do whatever you like to do. But all the sharks were not bloodthirsty murderers. They just want to eat yous when you're at the beach with your family or you're out on the water and you're on your little surfboard. But don't come out here with your boats and your harpoons and kill us because fucking Johnny wanted to get on his surfboard that looks like a seal from under the water.
No.
And then you guys, no, let me finish.
Okay.
And then you guys come out here in your fucking boats and your floodlights. And next thing you know, we're hoisted up tail first on the dock. And you pricks are taking pictures with our mouths open.
Well, I've never had shark fin soup or anything like that. So I know what you're saying, but wasn't me.
Let me give you a fucking golden sticker because you've never had a bowl of shark fin soup in what? Fucking Japan.
Listen, Jericho knows this. My friend who's not here right now, he knows I'm not a big fan of seafood. So I think you can,
And there it is.
What?
There it is. No wonder you're being a fucking asshole. From the moment I get on here, I'm watching my father. I'm watching a fucking movie with my father getting killed.
I'm sorry. I know this is tough.
When my father gets killed at the end, no wonder you're a fucking prick because you don't like any of us sea creatures.
I don't. I have to say I don't, and I stand by it.
Yeah. Just make sure when you're standing by it, you stand on fucking land.
Okay. Well, at least we understand each other, Jaws Jr. Is there anything else you want to say for our audience?
Actually, you prick, it's Jaws the second.
Oh, Jaws the second.
So I got a fucking hat on with a propeller out of the top. You're gonna give me a fucking sucker?
I could if you need one.
Yeah.
Do you have any parting words of wisdom or anything? Anything, if your dad was still around, what do you think he would say about it?
You know what? I'm fucking, what do you guys say? Leaning into it. I'm leaning into my fucking apex predator, right? You come out here in the fucking waters and you're on the menu. Fuck you all.
Wow. Jaws Jr., everyone.
I think it's the second. Monster. The second, wasn't it?
I'm going to call him Junior. I'm just going to call him Junior.
All right, man. Be careful. I'm living in San Diego and all.
I'll be fine. Jaws the second. Jaws the second. He comes
Yeah,
from.
no. Hey, Jaws, I know you might be still watching, but I didn't have anything. I wasn't even here. So all this crazy shit about Gabe saying he doesn't like seafood, doesn't like you, he thinks all of you are the same, or whatever he was saying. Not my daughter. I think he said that. But that was him. All right. I don't feel that way. I have love for sharks. I stay out of your domain. You stay out of mine.
I mean, I don't dislike all sharks. I'm just, I think they're dangerous, I'm not condemning the whole race, only certain sharks are very dangerous and then some are friendly, you just gotta be careful. Well, you gotta be careful what sharks you choose to be around.
What species is a friendly shark?
Well, the little like a mud there's a mako, I believe. Those
makos are very dangerous.
What's a sand shark? A sand shark. Those are small.
Google a picture of a mako shark. Those are not nice.
That's one of the most aggressive. The mako. That's one of the worst.
Very fast. Well, if you want to go out in the ocean and try to get Jaws' attention, attention, and mend that bridge, go for it.
Nurse shark, tiger shark, hammerhead shark, thresher shark.
Tiger shark, bull shark.
What if there's an electric shark?
I don't know. Could be. We don't know shit about the ocean.
We should have. Yeah. See, Diesel said exactly what I was thinking. We should have asked him what he thinks of the song "Baby Shark."
Oh, he would have got pissed.
I think his eyes would have rolled back, and he would have went into a frenzy.
He's already pissed. So that just would have been dumping gasoline on the fire.
Anyway, I'm glad I was able to get Jaws the second to come on.
No, that wasn't cool. That whole he ended up calling you a prick and all that kind of stuff.
Whatever. Stay in the ocean. Hammerhead shark can't bite this. Anyway, poor little redheaded kid gets eaten alive by Jaws Sr.
In front of everybody.
Right.
And what's sad, you see all the people running back onto the beach, grabbing people along the way, calling their kids names. And then you have that mother of that kid who just got eaten. She's out there kind of, ankle deep in the water, calling for her kid, slowly realizing that was him.
Just such good cinematography in this movie. Whoever was the director of photography, I mean, that's a brilliant, again, as a comic book artist that draws for a living, the way you frame a shot. This lady alone, she's in the left third. You always put things in thirds. That's a good way. See the horizon line behind her head? It's not in the third, but it's close enough to it. Her face is in the third horizontally, the thirds vertically. This is so well divided, this picture. And you separate her. You put her in the water, there on the sand, and you isolate her, and you can feel her loneliness and terror. We have children, Jericho, mine are adults, but you have younger kids. You ever lose them at the department store for 12 seconds, like you're looking at a rack of shirts and they walk to the other side of it. And you panic. Bobby, and then there they are, 3 seconds later. Can you imagine?
What? Why are you calling my name like that?
God forbid, not being able to find your child at the beach. Right? Just you couldn't even fathom the terror you would feel.
Yeah, and that's perfect, like you said, how they clearly separate her from everybody on the beach who found all the people that they were with, and she's the one who didn't.
And it would just feel like so not fair. Why did all of them find their kids? It would just feel so terrible.
Yeah, and, awful.
Yeah.
And $3,000, 50 years ago, that was some dough.
$3,000 before Biden took over was some dough.
That was a serious dough, like 4 years ago. But
Bidenomics, swear.
Hey, look, folks, it's not a joke.
I'll tell you what, folks.
I'm serious, folks. I was raised in the Black church and the Catholic church and the Puerto Rican church and the Jewish church. Your Sundays were packed.
The Black Jewish Puerto Rican church. I remember that.
Yeah, that's 3 different fucking different crosses on the front of it. Wow.
So yeah, there's a $3,000 bounty to the man or men who can catch and kill the shark that killed Alex M. Kintner on Sunday.
Hey, how come it doesn't say and women and non-binaries and they thems on there too? Why does it just say man or men?
I'm going to bring back in Jaws the second. And first of all, Jaws, let me apologize. Things got out of hand. I take it all back. I hope we have an understanding. I did want to ask you this, though. If you had to be caught and killed, would you want to be caught and killed by men or by a strong black independent queen or some other variation of gender, whatever? If you had to be caught and killed, how would you want it to go down so you'd go out in a blaze of glory?
Well, first of all, I accept your apology, and
Thank
I
you.
apologize for being a little rude myself there.
Well, we know how fish can be, so I'm not upset.
And you
Oh.
didn't even fucking let me finish making
I didn't
my
mean that. That didn't come out the way I meant. I'm
before
sorry.
you turned into a fucking asshole. You know what? This Jericho guy that's not here, maybe from now on you fucking make him here. Anyway, to answer the last question I'll ever fucking answer for you. If I was gonna be fucking caught and strung up on the dock by my tail, I'd want it to be by a fucking man or a group of men, because that is one of the oldest rivalries in fucking history, is animal versus man, not animal versus woman or fucking non-binary alphabet soup group fucking Ku Klux trans member. Me versus the fucking testicles.
So what if, now, would it be humiliating if the 2016 Ghostbusters were the women that captured you? Would you just hate yourself?
There's no fucking way. Look at that collection of worn out fucking clams. I would eat all of them in one fucking bite, and I'd save that prick fucking sackless simp in the background there for last.
All right. Well, if you ever do get caught, I hope it's by the strongest men possible. So at
I'll
least
never fucking get caught.
All right. You say so. I heard some things.
I've been out here for years, and no one's ever even come close to catching me. So it ain't gonna fucking happen now there, buddy.
All right. Well, I'm sorry for slipping up again and just kind of lumping all fish into one thing. I do apologize for that again. I don't
give a shit.
Speciesist against you. So
yeah. I'll be looking for you. Where you live? Fucking San Diego. I got a spot down there. I think it's time for me to visit some friends and family in SB.
All right. Jaws, not Junior, the second, everyone. Jaws is the second.
Oh, well, that went sideways.
He's got a hair trigger, that guy. Jeez.
Well, you started it off by saying, "You people, you fish." He was in the middle of apologizing, and then
you know how fish are. They're all the same. And by the way, I don't care what anyone says. They all look the same. I don't care what anyone says.
You better heed his warning. Don't ask him to come back, because if it's you, I don't know if you can be safe.
All right, we won't have him back. He'll probably.
I mean, I can talk to him, but
right.
I think you and him. It's all.
I think we're cool. So anyway, there's a reward. The mayor, the city council, and the business, the civic leaders of Amity Island are talking about what are we going to do? It's 4th of July is coming up. We need to make our money. We need our money from those tourists, and we can have this damn shark out there. So let's pay people $3,000. I think this is a great scene. As a comic book kind of genre fiction, I write some genre fiction. I write some normal literary fiction, whatever. I don't think there's a difference. I think that's all highfalutin college snob stuff. But I think this is such a great pulpy genre moment where they're talking about it. There's going to be a reward. And the city council people, the business leaders, the business owners are like, you're shutting down the beach? And
that lady asked him, that lady in the front row on the left with the yellow turtleneck, her right there, she asked, she said, are you going to close the beach?
And he's just for one day, just one day.
Well, he says, yeah. And then the mayor goes, well, just for 24 hours.
Right. So now we're having this weird conflict here. They all understand this is real. People have been getting eaten, but we have all this business we have to make. This economy survives on this weekend, basically. That's how they make their money, this Amity Island. So now this is such a moral quandary here. All of us from the outside as non-business owners at Amity Island, we're all looking like, shut the fucking beach. Like, what are you talking about? But I understand what these business owners are saying to a degree. Like, what if they don't make any money and they lose their business, they lose their home, all that? Can't you find a way to kill this damn shark faster? So there's this great, and I don't have an image of it. I was talking about being a comic book writer, genre fiction, pulpy. They're all talking and squabbling, and all this stuff is going on. They're talking about the reward, and people are making jokes, and people are getting mad. And then you hear the nails on the chalkboard.
Wow. Could you imagine if they had to shoot that scene again?
Right. And they turn everyone around, and you have this character right out of a comic book. The old sea captain, Quint. He's so good. You would, if this was a different, group, different actor, different directors, writers, this character would be ridiculous. It'd be something out of like Scary Movie or just something stupid.
Yeah.
But it's, for some reason, this works. What do you think it is that works so well about this guy? Because he's a cartoon, but he's not.
I think everything about him is working at the same time. The lamb chops on the side of his face, that hat, the way he crosses his arms, his mustache, everything just lends itself to this character. And for me personally, the fingernails on the chalkboard was the worst fucking part of this whole movie.
Right.
That shit was, I can't stand that. But this character, I mean, nothing phases him. You could almost see him at the bow of the ship during a storm with rain and lightning and thunder and waves.
Right.
And is that all you got? Like Lieutenant Dan, is that all you fucking got? Like, this dude is crazy, but it's a measured, calculated crazy. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to do it. So either get the fuck out of his way or he's not going to do it. He doesn't need any help. Doesn't need anything from anybody. You just give me the money I'm asking for and I'll bring you that shark. He's like, you want the head, the tail? I'll bring it to you however you want it. But you give me
10.
money I'm asking, 10 grand, and get the fuck out of my way. That's what he wants. It doesn't end up, it kind of ends up that way, but this is what he's telling him. He's like, this thing's big, smart, and that you guys don't know what you're fucking with. So get me on the job. I'll take care of it. And then the mayor's like, oh, okay, well, we'll take it under advisement. He's like, mayor, chief, ladies and gentlemen, and fucking leaves the room.
Right. He's a force of nature, this guy. And he's so mysterious. And when you find out the punchline, and I don't mean the funny way, to his character, holy cow, it pays off well. And again, that's such good writing by the author of maybe the book, or maybe it was changed for the movie screenplay. Either way, in the movie, it delivers. See, this mysterious guy, he's hardcore, he's fearless, he knows everything about sharks. Just that hat is so good. The hat is covered in the salt water and the sweat, making that patina where your hat discolors, you know what I mean, when you've had it for a while. Like, he's just so legit, this guy. He's completely believable. It's fantastic.
Yeah. The hat smells like sweat.
Right.
He's fucking balding a little bit in the front, in the middle, but it's like he don't give a shit. He doesn't care about how he looks. He doesn't give a shit about anything like that. He just wants to get out there and like Jaws the second mentioned, that classic battle between man and beast. He wants to go out there and live that.
Right.
Yeah.
I bet you Jaws the second is actually afraid of Robert Shaw's character, Quint. I bet you he'd talk all tough, but he'd pee his little shark pants if he saw him.
I don't know. He seemed like a pretty tough guy. Obviously, his upbringing was tough. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he fears him. He probably reveres him.
Ooh, the man that helped take his father down.
Yeah, there's definitely almost a respect.
This guy's the last thing his dad ever ate.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But I'm sure he has a respect for these humans that were able to best, the baddest thing in the ocean.
I should apologize to Jaws Jr., Jaws the second, because I just realized.
Wait a minute. You just said I should apologize to Jaws Jr., which he doesn't want to be called.
Right.
And then you've already apologized. So would you get a second chance?
I think I should eventually apologize to him, because I just realized his dad was not a great guy, and he did all this stuff, and it was terrible for the family, and it gave them all a bad name. They were outcasts. But I realized Jaws the second was there. He saw all this happen in person.
Mm-hmm. He mentioned
just a little shark.
Violence.
He was just a baby shark, just a few yards away, watching his dad out of control. It's like seeing your dad drunk or something, like for us humans, like seeing your dad lose his cool. It's sobering, man. I actually, my heart kind of goes out to him. And if you're still watching, man, I'm sorry.
He mentioned the domestic violence that he witnessed. I'm sure there was drug and alcohol abuse and all kinds of shit. Yeah, man.
Jaws the second, if you're listening, I just want you to know something. It's not your fault, man. It's not your fault. Your dad had his problems. It's not your fault. And I know you've been carrying that guilt for a long time.
I don't know. I don't know if you can get through to him, man. He seems pretty set in his ways, and he's not a big fan of yours now. So
well, I'm sure we'll talk again. Maybe not this show, maybe next week, whatever, Well, next week will be at Comic-Con, so we're not going to be doing this. But anyway, beach is closed, suckers. So forget it.
Take your ass home.
Take your Speedos and get. Jericho, would you ever wear Speedos to the beach?
I don't foresee a situation where I would, but if for some reason I had to go to the beach and that's all I had,
okay,
yeah, man, we'll stuff it in there, see what happens.
Now you're on a weight loss journey, as am I. I'm down 40-something pounds. I'm feeling good. Lost a lot of weight. I did tell my wife probably by next summer, you get the 6-pack going. I'm wearing the Speedo to the beach. I'm doing it.
Oof.
I'm doing it.
I don't know if I'd volunteer, but
I'm doing it.
That's not something I wouldn't do. But
I already take my walks.
I wouldn't volunteer.
I've lost enough weight now where I walk my daily walks through the neighborhood. I don't wear a shirt anymore, so I can tan more. So I'm getting there. I'm getting in pretty damn good shape.
Happy for me. Yeah. Got the banana hammock.
So Speedo, here we come, baby.
Watch out, beaches of SD.
That's right, baby. No swimming, hazardous area, beach closed by order of Amity Police Department. That's right. Yeah. So they're shutting the beach down for 24 hours. Some guys go out on the dock and they're trying to chum the water. They're trying to do something out here.
They're trying to catch jaws, and they're putting like a floater. They're using that tire as like a bobber. So when he bites, they know exactly where he is, and they can catch him to get that $3,000.
Right.
And it's a couple old, salty dogs. They've probably been fishing those waters for fucking 50 years, and they're going to get them. They're going to catch this damn shark and get that money. So they put a big hunk of meat on a hook, a big ass hook, and they throw that sumbitch out in the water.
Toodleskate does have a correction for us, and I knew this, and I should have said it. The Jaws name is not Jaws; it's Bruce. But actually, Toodleskate, it is Brewster. They're from England. Their family swam over here in the 1600s. It's actually their lords. He's Lord Brewster Thorogood Jaws the First, and then his son is Lord Brewster Thorogood Jaws the Second. So yes, thank you for. And he did go by Bruce to close friends. I call him Jaws the Second because we're not like close like that. So,
yeah, not yet.
But I was thinking of calling him Brewster, but I was like, that's too familiar. I think I don't know.
Way too familiar, especially now.
He's the only Brewster I've ever met. I think there was a Brewster in my first grade class, but I'm not sure. But he's the only Brewster I can ever remember meeting. So,
and the great Richard Pryor movie, Brewster's Millions.
Right.
That was a good one.
Or the direct-to-video sequel, Brewster's Thousands.
Yeah, that it didn't work out too good. It did not work out good.
So these two, they're trying to attract Jaws, and they do. A piece of the dock breaks off, and the one guy floats away, and he's almost eaten by Jaws, and he's barely able to be pulled out of the water by his friend at the last second.
Close. I mean, close.
Yeah.
He barely got up on the thing to get pulled out of the water. The old man almost got it.
Yeah, it was freaky deaky. It's pretty scary. So,
but it shows you the strength of the shark because it pulls one of those pillars down, and the dock collapses into the water. So it's very big, very strong. Yeah,
and he's strong like bull. He's huge. Brewster Thorogood Jaws the First. Back to the Chamber of Commerce business owner city council meeting. They did say they were bringing in a oceanic specialist, some sort of oceanographer person. And the morning that all kinds of fishermen and men are going to go out there and catch Jaws right off the coast here, he shows up. They call him Hooper, is the character. And he's supposed to be a young guy. But I feel like in the old days, going back before modernity, the last 30 years, young people looked older than they do now. You ever notice you see like a 30-year-old guy and he has like a smooth, round baby face, but he's like 30, but he looks like he's, 21. They keep calling him kid here, but he looks like 35 to me, but I think he's probably like, 25 or under, right? Because they keep.
No, I don't think he's that young.
They call him kid, young man, something like that.
But even if he's like 30, I mean, look at the Quint.
That's true.
Quint
is a World War II veteran. So
yeah, and even to the sheriff's got to be at least 10 years older than him.
Right.
So yeah, I could see how they would call him that, even if he was like 30, because he got a little salt in his chin there.
That's true. So it's late 30s at least. Yeah. Yeah. So Hooper shows up. So you got Hooper, Brody, and Quint. Quint is the sea captain. Brody's the police chief, and then Hooper is this oceanographer, kind of guy. Oh, I think you're playing some audio. I heard something out loud. Careful. I don't know if you want anyone to hear it. I didn't understand it, so don't worry. So Hooper's looking for the police chief, and all these men are jumping in boats. They're overloading the boats like idiots. Too many men jumping in. One of them has dynamite in his hand, and the police chief is like, "You're not taking that out."
It's like, whoa. You're not going out there with 8 full sticks of dynamite. No.
Oh, what's the problem?
Oh, hey, officer. But I like this scene, and it goes on for a little bit, but I like this scene because there's still a sense in America of, fuck you, I can do what I want. This is the chief telling them, they're like, whatever. Jumping in their boats, who gives a shit? Dude, I've been in these waters for 30 years. Like, there's still a sense of the police chief knows that he's a servant to the people, and the people obviously have the authority, they have the power, and they know it. And they're like, whatever. Like if they would have tried to pull the pandemic shit at this time,
never
you would have had everybody, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Right. So there was very much a sense of that, not in a disrespectful manner, but
in a freedom of, I'm a grown man and a free citizen.
I do what I want. If I drop the stick of dynamite and blow up my boat, then hey, that's my fault. If I want to load 8 dudes in this little pontoon thing and chance drowning, fuck, I do what I want. Come fish my body out of fucking water.
I remember a similar thing to this. One of my favorite guys, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 50 of the greatest team of all time, the Denver Broncos. Defensive lineman Derek Wolfe, about my size, maybe an inch taller. He's like 6'5", built like an absolute man. And he's not one of those fat linemen. He's one of those superhero comic book linemen, just a beast of a body. Lives in Colorado, completely based. He's a Trump supporter, a MAGA guy, total tough guy, and a crazy ass hunter. There was a mountain lion in Colorado around his neighborhood, and it was killing dogs and going in people's yards and doing stuff.
Yeah.
So he took a bow and arrow, one of his buddies and his 2 big dogs, hunted it down and killed it like 2 winters ago. And it made the news, and then like the PETA assholes came out against him. And I listened to the Denver sports radio during the football season, and he was a host for a minute on one of the channels there, and he talked all about this, hunting it down and all that. And look at that. Now, this is a 6'5" man. Look at the size of that thing. That thing was eating good.
Yeah, not just the length of it, because it looks like it could put its front paws on his shoulders.
Right. But the size of its head.
That's like 3 times the size of his head.
And again, he is 6'5", like 265, 275 football lineman, And that thing dwarfs him with its jaws. And
that cat's got to be 200 pounds.
Yeah. Insane. But yeah, he hunted it out and killed it with a bow, not a gun. Whoa. Jeez. Glory.
Look at that thing.
Glory. So, but I remember he was just laughing at all the pansies that were mad that he did this. Why did you kill an innocent animal that could have eaten people's fucking toddlers in his neighborhood?
We're still top of the food chain. So
yeah.
When shit like this, when shit starts acting up, we got to do something about it.
Right. So yeah, so Jaws kind of reminded me of that. So yes, that is badass. Absolutely. So all these men are following, or I guess preceding Derek Wolfe, the footsteps. They're blazing the trail for the Derek Wolfes of the world to defend. Hey, Jericho, here's a concept for 2024. Defend your women and children and your home.
Why can't they do it themselves? She's a woman. She's equal. She can do what I can do.
You watched Captain Marvel?
Yeah. Madam Web? Come on. I don't have to do anything. I would be, if I tried to assert my position as a protector, then I'm infringing on her truth.
Well, then you're using the penis of oppression when you do that.
Yeah, mansplaining or some shit. So I maybe want to get into it.
Yeah. Let's get on this boat with dynamite. F off now. Yeah, Don't think I'm
Right?
going anywhere with anyone with dynamite. No, thank you.
He was loaded. He had like 6
Hey.
sticks of dynamite.
Let's say the guy just brought it on in his bag and just didn't tell anyone because he was casual about it. What would you do now, Jericho? There's a shark in the water. Brewster Thorogood Jaws the first is out there eating people, eating redheaded kids. You're on a boat, on these little boats, these little schooners, and you guys are out 300, 400 yards, and Dingleberry next to you pulls out his 8 sticks of dynamite. Now you have a choice. Jump off the boat and swim back. It's very physically taxing. Maybe get eaten by Brewster the first, or stay on the boat and get blown into the afterlife with this redneck. What do you do?
I guess I'm staying in the boat because it'd be a quicker death than get chewed up. But
take the dynamite from him, light it, and throw it.
I would be highly pissed off if somebody was like, "Hey, look what I brought."
Light it. Well, just throw it. Why the fuck did I say light it?
Look what I brought. I brought 6 full sticks of dynamite. No, fuck that. And then all those boats, everybody's close together. What if you don't throw one in the right spot, or you throw it and some idiot comes over and they're like, you ever see the video of that dog? The guy he was ice fishing, or whatever. He threw, or not even ice fishing, but there's this frozen lake, and he threw a stick of dynamite, and the dog grabs it and goes under his vehicle.
No way.
Fucking blows up. I don't know if it's real or not. I hope it's real. But he goes under the vehicle with it, and it blows up the vehicle, and it sinks.
Oh my god!
But yeah, basically like that. What if you do that? One of these idiots, they go right over the top of where you threw it in.
Oh. So anyway, those guys are going on their sea odyssey like Odysseus to go find the shack and get themselves 3,000 smackaroonies. And Hooper comes in talking to the deputy and to the chief, Brody, and introduces himself. They didn't know who he was. He's just some guy wandering around. And, he tells them what he's going to do. He wants to see the body of the girl so he can make an assessment because he's been called in to figure out what kind of shark this might be because he's the expert. Tony C says they're not dynamite. They are candles in case it gets dark.
Oh.
Tony?
Why bring them out in the daytime?
You don't want to bet your life on that one. You don't want to be mid-sentence go, oh, these are just candles, and then you're in heaven. You're like, oh, I guess they weren't.
Boom. These candles make noise.
Like, man, these candles are really, and all of a sudden you're like in a white robe holding a harp.
St. Peter? What? Yeah, that's all bad. You don't want to do that. But that can happen when you fuck with dynamite. Look how close they are. Like, they don't have fucking square miles of ocean, and they're all in a group. Yeah, somebody's dying.
Oh my gosh.
For sure. Somebody's not coming back.
It's not a thing I'm wanting to do. So then we get a little bit of a gross out scene here. Not too gross. They go to the coroner's office. They pull the lady. Now, those roll out freezers that keep the body in at the corner. The coroner opens the freezer and see this is just a little subtle whore. And they do it without saying it directly, hitting you over the head. He pulls out basically a glorified laundry basket that isn't too deep.
Yeah, like a kitty litter.
Yeah, that's like what's left of this lady. And they never put the camera right in it. You see like a hand hanging out of it and stuff. And then Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss, with the headset, he's recording. He's making his medical examiner report into a recorder, obviously. And he's saying, this much tissue is missing, and there's, bite marks and blah, blah, blah. The internal organs are gone, and this much of the ribs are left. And there's not much of this poor lady left. And then he gets a little angry at the medical examiner, and he's like, this is a shark. This is what you said. This was a boating accident. Like,
yeah,
you damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is no bike accident. He's like, the bite radius on this thing is, is this kind of shark or that kind of shark. And the arm was removed above the elbow and all this shit. He's like, dude, this ain't no fucking boat propeller. Like, what kind of popsicle stand medical examiner's office are you running here? I
think this was the same guy that said Biden had sharpest attack.
Dude, he was fine. Didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a step. Clear, concise. I don't know what you got to talk.
I do like that. If we can go to fake news for a minute. In public, Biden looks like he is lost. And then this is how the fake news does it. What you see is Biden has lost, and then the news goes, yeah, but behind the scenes, sharp as attack.
On it.
And then
On it.
in public, Trump, sharp as attack, brilliant, improv, smart, funny. And then the news goes, yeah, behind the scenes, totally demented, doesn't know where he is.
Falling apart. Well, then get their people together so you can show Sloppy Joe how to act like that in front of us,
Right.
and then fall apart behind the scenes where he's
Right.
supposed to, not in front of the fucking
Right.
world. And he looks lost and scared. And that pisses me
Did
off.
you see him getting on Air Force One today, going up the stairs? He
Uh-uh.
looks like one of the animatronics from Pirates of the Caribbean or something.
Chuck E.
just-
Cheese.
He just moves all slow. No, not even Chuck E. Cheese. Showbiz Pizza,
Oh.
the shitty Chuck E. Cheese.
Not even Chuck E. Cheese.
No, he
Animatronic.
he couldn't make it a
robots.
Chuck E. Cheese. He'd be a Showbiz Pizza.
Suck.
Have you ever heard of Showbiz Pizza? That was what they had in Colorado instead
Yeah.
of Chuck E. Cheese.
Which is terrible. A knockoff.
You know what? I didn't realize, but it made so much sense. I took my kids to Chuck E. Cheese once when they were little. I hate Chuck E. Cheese. It's the most ghetto ass thing. And why is Chuck E. Cheese ghetto, by the way?
I don't know. I guess there's a demographic for it. They're like, hey, we can't let them come in here. Let's give them some.
Did you
fucking
know?
rat robots?
Did you know that Chuck E. Cheese's real name is Charles Entertainment Cheese? I'm not even kidding. If you like,
That's
go look up.
fucking terrible.
His middle name is Entertainment. That's why he's Chuck E. Cheese.
That's
My middle
fucking
name is
terrible.
Entertainment.
They're like, dude, I don't give a shit what you named this stupid thing. Just get it out.
But I was at Chuck E. Cheese with my kids like 20 something years ago, and I noticed they had beer taps behind the counter where you pick up the pizza.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is for all the parents who have a headache from like all the screaming kids and horrible food. So I don't know. I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in 20 something years. I hate it. The crowd that goes there is not great. But I've noticed a few Chuck E. Cheese have on the front door, no guns allowed.
Hey, like I said, there's a demographic for Chuck E. Cheese.
Can you think of
Yeah.
another restaurant for children that serves pizza that says no guns allowed?
No, there is no
What?
other establishment like that.
Can you think of another establishment where you can win tickets to win a foam rubber football that also says you're not allowed to bring your Glock 17 in?
I don't think one exists. I think Chuck E. Cheese is a one and done.
I don't know. And then, do you know what a ghost kitchen is? I love this.
A
During
ghost
COVID,
kitchen?
during the COVID lockdown, restaurants would create fake like DoorDash and all this accounts for restaurants that don't exist. They would have a logo, they would have packaging, they would have a little website, and you go on DoorDash and you order Pasquale's Pizza. During the middle of 2020, all the lockdown, 1 million Pasquale pizzas opened up, 1 million It's Just Wings. And do you know what these are? It was just Chuck E. Cheese selling you Chuck E. Cheese pizza, and you think you're getting it DoorDashed from Pasquale's Pizza.
Yeah.
And there was a place called Just Wings. It was just Chili's selling hot wings. That's crazy. People would never order delivery from Chuck E. Cheese, but they were without knowing it unintentionally. That's wild to think about.
The deception.
Yeah.
The deception of advertising.
I bought pizza from a rat.
I bought rat pizza. But you thought it was all good at the time. You thought it was something else. Poor
Heather, ladies line. Heather, go ahead. You're on the air. Heather's here from, I think, the hot city of Scottsdale, Arizona.
Ooh.
Oh, she thought we were having the party tonight. No, Comic-Con is next week. Comic-Con's next week. So,
Relax, girl.
and you can't come to the party because the tickets sold out. But you can come up to the sidewalk in front of the building and wave at us from outside, and we will wave back to you. So,
Remember, I'm not waving.
oh, she's in Havasu. That's right. She's in Lake Havasu. That's right.
It must be a nightmare during the springtime.
That's right.
It's
So anyway,
spring break.
There ain't much of this gal left, and Hooper calls out the medical examiner for saying this was a boating accident. Hell no, this was a giant man-eating shark. So then there's a big commotion outside. The news is there. All these fishermen are there. Everybody's happy and celebrating because they caught him, or at least they think they did. They think they caught Brewster Thorogood Jaws the first, but they didn't.
Think.
Right. They're all excited. People are taking a big publicity photo for the news. All the fishermen are posing with it and smiling into the camera. And Hooper, the ocean, it's not an oceanologist, Gabe. That's not a word.
Oceanographer.
Jeez, fuck, dude. Oceanographer, oceanologist. What the hell, dude? He starts looking at the shark. He's like, "Ain't no way, ain't no way. I saw that lady's corpse. What was left? This mouth didn't do that. It's too little. It's too little." And do you know what he said?
The mayor doesn't want him to say that because you're fucking with their money.
And there was an original I saw on the Blu-ray, the Criterion Collection version with extra scenes added in. They say we're going to need a bigger boat later in the movie, but they got that line because here they cut it out because it was too corny. He said we're going to need a bigger throat.
Yeah,
because there's no way a shark this small ate that lady and did that damage.
I think that means something else, but yeah.
If you haven't voted in our poll yet, the question was we're going to need a bigger goat, moat, throat, or boat. Right now, boat is in the lead. I'm rooting for throat, though. And I'm really rooting for the throat goat.
the goat of the throat. Can hop on this boat.
So there you go. So we're going to need a bigger throat because there's no way that lady did it. Let's see. Oh, and then they say, well, we could prove it. Let's examine this shark's guts because they digest their food really slow.
Easily.
And him and the mayor and Brody start talking about, well, we got to cut this thing open to see if it's the one that ate everyone. And then I think it's the mayor or Brody says, there's no way we're cutting this shark open in front of the news cameras and all the villagers here on Amity Island and watching what's left of that kid fall out of this shark.
Yeah. In that instance, I was on the mayor's side.
Oh, 100%.
Good point.
100%. That is, you don't want to be right that this is the shark. And then the kid's head falls out of the guts.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
That would be the worst possible thing you could do.
There's still a little piece of shit in the mayor, though. I'm not
right.
He's not forgiven.
Right. Hardy Harmonica says there are 470 Chuck E. Cheeses in the U.S., 75 in the Golden State alone, Jericho. Will you be going to Chuck E. Cheese tonight, Jericho, with the show?
I will not. I've been in California for a long time, and I avoid the Chuck E. Cheeses like.
Coming to you live from Chuck E. Cheese, it's Double Impact.
That is so gross.
Ugh.
Robots all creepy and shit with their eyes all blink, blink.
My wife's older sister was Chuck E. Cheese in high school. She would wear the rat suit. I refuse to say he's a mouse. He's a rat.
He's a rat.
It's not a mouse.
That
guy's a rat. He's a rat and he's a turncoat.
Fucking rat.
And then this is cold-blooded, man. This lady comes up here with her husband or father, because he looks way older than her, but she's
I think it's her
old.
father.
She comes up and slaps Police Chief Brody and tells him, you knew that damn shark was out there and you let her son swim out there. You let everybody swim out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're one of the fathers of this city. You're one of the patriarchs, one of the people who we all love you. We all trust you, and you're supposed to protect us, and you let him swim. She gives him a good one, and he doesn't push back because he knows he earned that one. He earned worse, and he's just happy that's all it was.
Yeah, but he did not throw the mayor under the bus who was standing right there. He could easily said, I wanted to close the fucking beaches. This asshole was more concerned with the bottom line, and he wouldn't let me.
And it shows what a man he is,
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not going to try and deflect. And even though he would be right, and it would be the truth that the mayor and them kind of pressured him, he takes it like a man. Because you know what? Mm-hmm. She doesn't care about the excuses and whose fault it was or was not. That's not her problem. He could talk about that with the mayor and the medical examiner. That ain't her problem. That would just be weakness on his part. I really like this Chief Brody, Roy Scheider, who was in the amazing movie, The French Connection. Holy cow, what a good movie. Him and Gene Hackman. We love Gene Hackman on this channel. What an awful, awful bad guy he plays in so many movies. He's so good at being a bad guy. But he's a great hero in The French Connection. But Roy Scheider, his partner, is his partner in that one. And he's a great, great character in Jaws here, Roy Scheider. What a great guy. Love him in this. So then he's going home. He's having dinner with his wife, and you can tell he's just really upset. He's been through hell, and he starts making silly faces with his son. Then he tells his son to give him a kiss on the cheek, and his son does. He goes, "Why, Daddy?" He's because I need it.
So, because I need one. I need it.
Yeah. And it's great. You know, you have such values in this movie that he's a good man. He's made mistakes. He's standing by his mistake and taking the punishment from this lady. He's a family man, and he is his chief concern. What is driving him, just driving his engine this whole movie, is his desire to be a man and do what's right. And he's faltered now, and he feels horrible about it, and he's not making excuses. He has to find a way to figure this out, you know. So you're a dad. What is the comfort of the dinner table mean to you? Because it means so much to me. I grew up in a food family. My mom's family owned a restaurant that I worked in. My dad is a gourmet chef. Food was a big theme in our lives. And just sharing a meal with my wife and kids and then my granddaughter is just, I mean, for anybody, it's amazing. But how much comfort do you find in a great meal and the great company of your wife and kids?
Yeah, the meal is, dinner in the evening is a vehicle for so many other things. It gives your kids stability. It shows them tradition. You talk to them. You find out about their day, what they've been doing, what they're thinking about, what's going on in their life, what they think about things, current events. It's so much can be gained from having dinner every night at the dinner table. And if nothing else, it's just a good routine to have, to get together and something, something to look forward to be with your family.
Yeah, it's really fun when you make a simple meal, a good meal, or you order out everybody's favorite whatever, pizza, or, hot wings, and then you get it. Sometimes you get it out in front of the TV, and you watch a movie and talk and eat, and it's just so communal. It's such a wonderful thing. And that's one thing missing from modernity is family. So much of our media now, our TV shows, our movies, there's not family. There's not family moments and the importance of family, because it starts small from the micro and then it goes to the macro, where Roy Scheider here, he's Chief Brody. He wants to take care of his family. He doesn't want his wife and kids to be eaten by this damn shark, but he also wants to take care of his family of Amity Island. And he is metaphorically a father of this town.
Yeah.
And then a father of your nation as an American, and then a father of your world as an earthling. And as a man, you see your role that way. I need to do what's right for my wife, my kids, my city, my town, my people, my state, my country, my culture. And I think it's just such great values. I think it's fantastic. I had no idea this movie was like this. I thought this movie was mostly about the shark.
It's great.
Shark's barely in this movie.
Yeah, it's great. And especially that part where he says, "Kids, he's a gimme kiss." Why? He said, "Because I need it.
Right.
The world's beating me down, but you're my energy source. You're my recharge. Seeing your little face and getting a kiss from you, that that can make me face anything." But 1 second, I need to get more water.
Okay, no problem. So then I'll get through the Hooper thing here. Hooper comes over and he brings a bottle of wine, and they start talking about the shark and what they think they can do and this and that. And it's a nice little exchange between the wife and her husband, the police chief, and Hooper. And I like Hooper. He's you can tell the character's supposed to be really smart. He's got a bit of a wry, a little bit of a wicked sense of humor. He's like a real clever turn of phrase kind of guy. He's a fun character. These characters are so well written. And they're good people, they're well intended. And one thing I don't like about modern cinema is there are no more good guys. Everyone is a selfish asshole just fighting another selfish asshole. So it's who's the hero then? I know people love the Deadpool movies. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. And not because they're bad movies. They're well acted. There's great costumes, great special effects. They're well written. They're very funny. But I think they're filthy. See, when I tell people I hate Deadpool, you think it's a bad movie? I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Not quality-wise, it's well done, but I think the message and the tone is so awful. Such selfishness and ugliness and viciousness and crass and filth. It's just so pornographic, basically, those movies. And I miss stuff like this, where there's values and men are men and women are women, and what's important about life and God and family and all that is stressed. And I think this is why I go back to old movies. That's why we review so many old ones on this channel, because they're actual adult in the good way, adult values, traditional values, Christian values, American values. They're expressed in so many ways, some overt, some way more covert, but they're there. You can feel it about men wanting to do the right thing, and the woman and the kids being the support system and believing those men they could do the right thing. I think it's a thing of beauty, and it's a thing I aspire to in my work. The books that I write and draw, I really aspire to this stuff. So we get a pretty creepy scene here and a fun scene. It's not science fiction, but for whatever reason, there's something about this scene that's science fiction to me. I think it's the darkness reminds me of outer space, and the lights kind of remind me of outer space technology and stuff like that, but it's not. It's Hooper and Brody. They're out on a boat at night, kind of just looking around and stuff, and they come across a boat that's battered and half sunk. And Brody, being a man of the Amity Island, everyone knows everyone. It's a small place, probably a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand people at most. He's like, oh, that's Joe's boat or whatever. I don't remember the guy's name. Like, where is he? What's wrong? But he recognizes the name, he says the name of the person that owns this. And this is bad. It's the middle of the night. They got searchlights and this boat is in rough shape. And you get probably the creepiest part of the movie. I don't like this at all. I told you about swimming at night. Would you go into the ocean at night, Jericho, in scuba gear?
I don't know, especially with a man-eating shark on the loose. No,
right.
There's no fucking way.
And
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't care if that was a pool, like a swimming pool, an enclosed area. Man, hell.
Swimming in the dark is a horrible idea.
Mm-mm.
So Hooper, and I think it's cool because he seems like a little nerdy science guy, but no, he's fearless, man.
Oh man, yeah, he's fucking crazy.
He puts the wetsuit on, the scuba tank on, all the respirator and all that, and he jumps in. He wants to look at this boat. He wants to look at the bottom of the boat because he has a hunch. If I could see the kind of damage, I think the shark did something to this boat, and if it did, and I see it and I analyze it, I get an idea for how big this thing might be. I saw the bite marks. I have an idea about the shark. Could it be a great white or what is it? And you get a jump scare. He's swimming on the bottom of the boat. He's got his flashlight. Everything's dark. And this dude, Joe, I don't know, Joe the fisherman, his head, I mean, I'm sure the rest of the body attachment pokes out of the hole on the side or the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
And it freaks Hooper out. And look how great that is. And the yellow uplight, like, golly, this movie's photographed beautifully. Did this scare you, this part?
No, what not scared me, but startled me was my wife getting the shit scared out of her. And then she like pushed me when she jumped. Like, oh, and I was like, hey, what the hell's going on? But yeah, it was a good jump scare.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that scary, but it's disturbing, right?
Yeah.
It's really disturbing. And I think, again, the water is more disturbing to me than the shark. This, just swimming in the dark by yourself, that's so much scarier than the shark.
Nope.
That
won't be done.
So yeah, poor Joe the fisherman. I didn't catch his name, but he got eaten up, poor guy. So Mr. E says, that guy lost his head.
Dude, that shit sucked, man. He went down, and then so the shark, he finds a tooth, lodged into the wood in that hole that the head came out of. But when the head came out of there, it scared him. Dropped the tooth, his knife, and the fucking flashlight. So now, oh shit! Now, for sure, he's dead.
You know when you make a grilled cheese sandwich and you cut it diagonally and you get the nice big triangle?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the tooth he finds in the ship. He finds a gigantic tooth in there.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Huge, like a fucking megalodon tooth.
Yeah.
And then he drops it. Knife, light, tooth, gone.
Right. So, Jericho, you told everyone to remember this poster from early in the movie that did not have defacement on it yet.
Yep. Not yet. But now it does. Now the girl's like, help, shark. Word's getting out. They drew a fin in the water. The mayor's all pissed off because that's the message that's getting out is these sharks are on the beach and it's a problem. So it's fucking with the money and not the lives of the Amity Islanders. And you hear that a lot of people saying, I'm an islander. No, I was born here. I'm an islander.
Oh,
there's
right.
There's even a scene where they tell a woman, she's like, no, maybe it was a chief's wife. Like, no, it doesn't matter how long you live here. You weren't born here. You're not an islander.
Right. The beach setup shots make me think of the Lost Boys movie. Do you know that I have never seen the Lost Boys, and I've wanted to see it for better part. I've wanted to
throw that in October.
Well, there's a sequel to the Lost Boys or a prequel or something comic book that I did the art for back in 2009 or 10. And when I did it, my wife was proud of me working on that for DC Comics. And she bought me the Lost Boys on DVD that summer for my birthday, and I've never watched it. Now, I don't have a DVD player. No, I don't have a Blu-ray player.
We've been over this, Gabe. We've been over this.
Right. Well, I don't want to buy a Blu-ray player because I might buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, and then I'd have 2 Blu-ray players. I wouldn't know what to do with them.
But you could just buy one, and then that's it.
Yeah, but what if I go buy the $35 cheap Blu-ray player, and then I'm like, you know what? I do want the Xbox or the PlayStation 5.
Well, you only spent $35 on it.
Yeah, I know, but that's at least one meal at McDonald's now.
Or for yourself, not 2 people, just one.
Right.
No, then you just cut out the middleman and get the fucking PS5 because it sounds like that's what you want to do anyway.
I don't like PlayStation. When you're young, you have that stupid
or the Xbox.
Nintendo rules. PlayStation sucks. You have that like kind of territorial weird thing. I've had that about PlayStation. I don't like it. I've never had a PlayStation. I don't want one.
Okay, get an Xbox, whatever.
But there's a really cool like Chinese mythology game coming out on the PlayStation 5 only, I think, and I want to get it. So I don't like to play video games so much as I love to look at beautiful looking video games because I'm an artist. Video game concept art is so beautiful to me, but some of the video games are so gorgeous nowadays. I just want to play them to look at them. I don't know if that's weird, but that's how I feel about it. So
then do it, Gabe.
I'll eventually get a Blu-ray player. I'll watch all those Blu-rays that I've had for years that I've never watched.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I worked on the Lost Boys comic book, and I've never ever seen the movie. So I know a little bit about the Frog Brothers, but not too much.
We got to put that in the October Halloween movie episode or saga because Lost Boys is a good one. And I watched it again this year. We usually watch it every year, but I watched it last Halloween with my family, and I didn't realize it's rated R. I thought it was PG-13, but there's no nudity in it. It's not super gory. I mean, there's some spoiler alert if you haven't seen if you're in the I guess you haven't seen it, but there's some gore in it in some points, but it to the point where I didn't think it was rated R. I thought it was PG-13. The 80s PG-13 is a little more hardcore than nowadays. But no, it's not like I said, I watch it with my kids. So there's no nudity or anything like that or super gory shit. But man, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I haven't you know what? I never it was 2008 when I worked on this. I said 2010. This is really old. So in 4.5 years, it'll be 20 years ago that I worked on this book. That's so hard to believe. That's so bizarre to me. Very bizarre.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really weird shit, man. Hold on, I'm looking in my old work from DC Comics, and I found some Lost Boys pages. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Here's a page from Lost Boys. Now, be fair to me, it's good work, but I'm much better nowadays. But there's a page from the Lost Boys comic book from 2008.
That's
cool. The Kiefer Sutherland character. I don't know the name. But what I don't like about the colors here, it's too gray. It's too it should be darker up at the top. And then it's too much green without like a secondary color. So that's me critiquing myself. But yes, I did work on that comic book many, many moons ago. So okay, we'll put that one in for Halloween. Anyway, back to Amity Island, reminding people of Santa Carla, the fake city that's supposed to be Santa Clara, right? Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's filmed in Santa Cruz at the beach boardwalk. That's where the kids have their summer job and the opening scene and shit like that, but they call it Santa Carla.
Why wouldn't they just call it Santa Cruz? I don't understand that.
I don't know. That would have been cool if they did, especially being from that area.
To me, it was always like, why is this Gotham City and not just New York? Like, why? Like, what's the point?
I'm sure there's a pretty cool backstory. I'm sure it's not like a copyright. Maybe it is. Maybe it's I don't know.
No, so because I know this as a person that works for the companies. Marvel Comics uses real cities. Spider-Man is in New York. You know what I mean?
True.
But in DC Comics, it's all fake cities that are analogs. Like Aquaman is from, he's from San Diego, but they call it something else. This is embarrassing. I should know what it's called because I worked on the Aquaman comic book for like a year or two. But like the Flash is from Kansas City or whatever, I think, but it's like Keystone City. And Superman is from Metropolis, but that can't also be New York because Gotham is New York. So I've had some people theorize that Metropolis is Toronto, but then he'd be a Canadian. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe Metropolis is supposed to be Boston. I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's weird that they wouldn't just call Gotham City New York or call Santa Carla Santa Cruz because it's at the boardwalk. It prominently displays the Santa Cruz Beach boardwalk.
I wonder if Amity Island is a real place, or is this a made up thing too?
It was definitely an island because you have the scene where the ferry full of people.
I mean, it's a real place on Earth. I mean, is it really called Amity Island? You know,
I don't know. Maybe.
So
maybe there's Amityville, so could be.
Anyway, the mayor's upset. It's the 3rd of July or so. It's got to be, and this big tourist thing is like tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like because it shows a ferry coming in, and you got hundreds, maybe thousands of people coming in from all the surrounding area. New York City, Boston, Connecticut, they're all coming in to dump their money into Amity Island. We cannot have this motherfucking shark on this motherfucking plane anymore. Remember that movie, Samuel Jackson, Snakes?
Oh, yeah, Snakes on a Plane. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Oh, Heather has it. I like this a lot better. Gotham could be Chicago. You know, the Batman movie with Bane, the third one, the Dark Knight Rises, that was filmed in Chicago, I think. Or was it filmed in No, it was filmed in Pittsburgh. Because my friend Levio, he was an artist at the DC Comics studio here. He's in the third Batman movie, and when they're at the Steelers football stadium. Remember when Bane blows up the stadium?
Yeah.
Nobody asked who I was until I put on the mask. You have any questions for me, Jericho?
Yeah. How do you feel about Gotham City?
Don't ask me questions, peasant.
But you just asked if I had.
I'll ask the questions around here.
Okay, let's get started then.
Okay, my first question is, do you have any questions for me?
I don't think I can.
That's right. Never ask me a question.
Okay, I won't. No promise.
Now,
Bane.
let me ask you a question.
Please.
Why the hell do you think I sound like this?
I think
wrong. It's because I like drugs.
Drugs are you on, B? You seem to be pretty organized.
The list of drugs I'm not on is shorter.
I bet. Because you took over Gotham City. It's pretty good, especially when it's being watched over by Batman.
You would think so. It wasn't all roses running Gotham City. I had to deal with the city council constantly, bitching and moaning to increase their budgets.
That's annoying.
You have any idea what it's like to run a city of millions?
No. I don't think I could. I think a lot of them would probably be, what's the word, exiled?
What I can't figure out is why it costs $300,000 to paint a pride flag on a crosswalk.
Yeah, so many better things could be done with that paint.
Oh, we did it anyway. They outvoted me.
Oh, you were on the right side of history, as they say, Bane.
But we caught the guy to put the streak marks on there with his electric scooter.
Oh, yeah. Well, did you name a street after him? That's what
he's going to do 8 years in Guantanamo for putting streaks on a fucking crosswalk.
Don't you think that's a little extreme?
I don't think it's enough.
You want him to get more time?
20 years minimum.
Oh, dude,
20 years per streak.
Has anyone ever called you a dick, Bane?
No.
That's a dick move.
I'm proud of that. I pride myself on my dick moves.
Yeah, I bet the ladies love it.
I've been making dick moves since you were a little boy.
And all those drugs, that must
ask
be fun.
your mother.
Oh, hey, watch it there, Bane.
I'm sorry, I got out of control there.
Okay.
Anyway, I've got to get back. I've got a city council meeting and a press conference later this evening.
You're very busy for a maniacal mastermind.
All right, I'm running for re-election. I got to show up to all these things. Talk to you later, Jericho.
See you, Bane. He's got layers, man. He's not just a bad guy. He isn't just.
Oh man.
It's not just bad. I'm getting Batman.
Oh, was that guy here? Who the hell was that guy?
That was Bane.
Like the Bane?
It's the only one I know of.
Oh. Was it the Bane from the cartoon or the Bane from the video game or the Bane from the movie?
The Bane from the movie.
Oh, because they're different guys. They're triplets. There's 3 of them.
Well, he He surprised me. I thought he was just in the bad guy shit, but he's attending meetings. He's making policy. Dude, maybe he's not such a bad guy. He's really doing a lot.
He has a degree from Universidad de somewhere in Colombia, and it's in political science. I didn't know that.
I don't like him being so heavy-handed with the penalty for that guy for
I read about that. He wanted the guy who did the streaks on the rainbow crosswalk. He wanted 20 years for that guy.
Yeah,
per streak.
Come on.
It's out of control.
That part's not cool. But everything else he said, I was surprised. Surprised. Shocked. I didn't know he had such a presence in.
Yeah. I didn't know he was so civic-minded, you know?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I thought he was destroying, but he builds, man. He builds.
Yeah. So I don't think it's right. You know, he's not an American citizen, you know, and then he's running a major American city. You know, do you think his loyalty is made to be divided or something like that?
No, I think he's pretty loyal to whatever Bane's agenda is.
Yeah. Bane puts Bane first. Melodic Method. Had to take my glass off, my tears from for that. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's the fun honest. Thank you. Yeah. No, I realized I could do that Bane voice. I saw the movie and I thought it was such a weird choice. You know, it's like a weird little crushed thing. And I think it's hilarious. The best way to do the Bane voice is to get some sort of cups. You can get an echo going in here. Yeah. And it's a lot of vocal fry. Vocal fry is that the Kardashian thing. You know, he has that vocal fry going on. Do you feel like you're in charge, Jericho?
Just don't say the Kardashian.
So I got to figure out how to get the cup, but also wear the mask. But then I don't want the cup in front of me because the cup makes it so good. And my kids, I would embarrass my kids doing it because I was like, when the movie came out, like 2008 or 9, I was like doing it all the time, that voice around the house. And I would get I had a giant glass stein. In front of my kids, I said, it's time to go to bed. And they would like, Dad, and just rolling their eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be.
So I did find out it's not a great voice when you're romancing your wife, though.
No, doesn't have the same effect.
Why don't you slip into something a little more comfortable?
Yeah, doesn't have the same effect. Not for everybody, you know?
Yeah, it's not for. I mean, I guess it'd be freakier if your woman wanted you to talk in the Bane voice, you know?
Yeah, you'd be like, well, what about my voice?
Imagine trying to keep that up, the Bane voice.
That would lead to problems. Yeah. What we're trying to say is keep Bane out of the bedroom.
Yeah, and then I feel like that mask would get all sweaty inside and weird. And, yeah. Anyway, shout out to Bane, mayor of Chicago.
Or Pittsburgh, whatever that was.
Yeah, who knows where the hell it was. Anyway, all the people here for the summer. And they're going to be buying ice creams, souvenirs, all kinds of shit there at Amazon.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. You name it.
Hotels, restaurants. Yeah, patronizing the entire city. Can we call it that?
You know what
City of Amity?
Let me go into seafood for a minute here because we argue about this constantly. You know what I hate the most about seafood?
That you've never had? Go ahead.
It looks delicious. The colors, the lobster meat looks delicious. Orange, white, covered in butter, chives on a hot dog roll, like that lobster roll those people eat, covered in mayo. That sounds amazing. I can't go near the stuff. Ugh, stinks.
But it is delicious, just as delicious as it looks, if not more.
Yeah. See, seafood is disgusting. See, Heather's with me. Heather's enlightened.
There's always one.
Smarter than the rest, like me. We're smarter than the rest of you who like seafood. We don't like it because we're smart. It is disgusting. It tastes like the water at the bottom of the garbage can. It's disgusting. It looks beautiful though. All the colors.
I think she just has sympathy. She's like, poor guy.
She says the smell. Heather, I would correct you and say the stank. This is past smell. It's either odor or stank.
You know, some women are usually like, oh, poor guy. Nobody wants to be on his team. Nobody agrees with him. I'll do it. I'll be his friend. I think that's more of what.
Oh, is that what you think? This is a pity agreement from her?
I didn't want to say that, but yes. Pity, sympathy, sadness, whatever you want to call it.
Melodic Method says seafood could be. I'll agree with you here, Melodic Method. The best seafood I ever had is when I threw the fish in the trash and ate pepperoni pizza instead. It was delicious. So I'll go with you right there. You just take that stinky ass fish, throw it in the garbage where it belongs, and then eat some chicken or beef or pork like a man.
No, eat beef and seafood. Get a little surf.
See, What in the hell, dude? Surf and turf.
and turf.
You take a perfectly fine piece of cow and then ruin it with the stink of fish.
Yo,
It's like you're sitting there like, oh, this brown, crispy, juicy steak.
No.
Wouldn't it be better if it smelled like a toilet?
Greatest couple you've ever seen.
No.
Surf and turf.
No. Look at this. Hardy harmonica eating poke.
Surf.
You know what? The
turf.
only thing you can do that would hurt me more is to wear Cookie Monster pajama pants in public, Hardy harmonica. You
Surf,
might as well do that.
Turf.
Surf and turf, no bueno. No bueno. So
It's
anyway,
not.
everyone here is on the sand, but they are not in the sea. They don't like it. Too many sharks. And some big city reporters there. And he's saying it ain't safe to come to Amity Island. The sharks. Everybody's
Don't
in the
do it.
beach, but they're out in the water. And this is exactly what the mayor does not want. This is exactly what the Chamber of Commerce and the mayor, they do not want this to happen.
They want
This
to
is
know
terrible.
everything's fine. Everybody come on. We're open for business. And he tells this guy, hey, get out in the water. Be
Why
the
don't
first.
you take your saggy nutsack and go swimming?
Get in the water? And he does. I don't know what kind of Polaroids he has on this guy, but he hops right up and gets his ass in the water.
Right. So he goes in the water, this gentleman, and it starts a bonanza. Everybody starts going in the water.
Yeah,
Everybody.
he did it. Okay.
Everybody in the club going in the water.
Don't follow. Don't be a follower.
Would you feel safe swimming and these men are just out there?
Hell no. Why are they out there with guns? If they're out there with guns, I'm staying on the beach.
And that looks like a 22, right? I mean, I'm not, this is.
That's an M1 carbine. It'll do some damage. Shoots a 9mm, I think.
Oh, is that an M1 carbine?
Yeah, you
It
do
is.
some damage with that.
Okay, I was wrong. It is not a squirrel gun.
That's
Yeah.
that's dropped an enemy or two on the battlefield.
What's the difference between the M1 carbine and the M1 Garand? Is that the same gun?
No, a carbine shoots like a 9mm. It's like a pistol round and a rifle, and a Garand. I think the Garand shoots a 7.62 or something like that.
Okay.
Much bigger.
One of the coolest things about the Garand that everyone learned playing Call of Duty that's too young to have been in the war in World War II, when that clip, not a magazine, gets to its last bullet and fires it, it goes ching.
Yep.
That's so cool because then it tells you it was empty. That's just kind of cool.
Yeah, that's where clip comes from. But if it's not that, it's not a clip. It's a
Right.
magazine.
It's a magazine if it's not the clip. So yeah. See, Heather's saying what seafood tastes like. If I had to imagine what swamp ass tasted like, that's going to Red Lobster.
Yeah, but that's one of your cohorts. You didn't convert anyone. She's just doing this because she feels bad for you.
I don't think so. I think she's brilliant.
I'm not doubting her brilliance. I'm saying this particular thing she's doing because she feels sorry for you.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, guess who's back in the mother-loving house with a fat fin for your mother-loving mouth?
No good. So the people all rush out there. Oh, hey, they're in the water. Let's go. It's safe. Then,
Come on in. The water's fine.
Then shark fin, shark, boom. Everybody back out of the water. Scary people are getting trampled. Old people are getting stomped out in the water. It's a panic. And then come to find out, it's a couple of punks with a cardboard fin. They got their little scuba gear or their little snorkel gear. They pull the kids out of the water, let them know, hey,
we was just
little punks out here. And then right there, as you can see in the shallow part, because earlier Brody tells his son, yeah, you can go on your little boat thing, your little catamaran thing, but do it in the shallow part. Don't go out in the ocean. But Dad, just do it for your old man. Go to the shallow part. Okay. So they're in the shallow part. Apparently, you're not safe from Jaws even in the shallow part. So then this dude gets fucked.
Heather, the brilliant seafood hater, says, this movie made me afraid of the swimming pool. My Aunt Martha, rest in peace, she passed away about a year ago. I think it was like the 3rd of July she passed away, so almost a year ago. My mom's older sister. She would shower with the door wide open because she saw Psycho in the 60s and could not shut the door to the shower after that.
Damn.
So she showered for like 50-something years with the shower door open to the bathroom. I feel like if there was a killer, you would want the door shut because you're in the bathroom. You know there's nothing hidden in the bathroom. You can see everything in there. What's he hiding under the effing sink? He's a foot tall. Lock the bathroom.
You don't have time for logic.
But I remember my Aunt Martha, she was eccentric. She wasn't crazy. But I'd go to her house, you know, in middle school or high school, and she had this voice. We do an impersonation of her in my family. She would get mad at people, and her voice would go up, Gabriel, Gabriel. If she got mad at me, Jonathan. Like if you do that at my family, everybody laughs because that's how Aunt Martha was. But you'd go into her house, you're like, hey, Aunt, are you here? And she's like, I'm showering. Don't come up to my room. You'll have nightmares the rest of your life.
That's fucked up.
Oh, Aunt Martha, you were one of a kind. One of a kind. So, yes, she saw Psycho when she was a teen and never showered with the door shut again.
That was it. And we did that movie. Understandable how that could scare somebody.
Fantastic movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, this dude, he gets eaten, and it's ugly, and there's a lot of blood everywhere. And then one of the children of the police chief, Brody, sees it and has like a meltdown.
Yeah.
Like he loses his mind watching this dude get eaten by a shark, which is understandable.
Pretty graphic, pretty gory, traumatizing for a kid, definitely.
Right. And everyone finally comes out of the water, and his friends pull him out. And I thought they were going to pull him out, and the surf was still halfway covering his body. I thought they were going to pull him out, and they were going to be missing his bottom half or his legs, the kid.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah, that would have been awful. But I thought when I was watching, that's what I was going to see. But then they pull him out, and there's such a sad moment. His mother runs over to his body and goes, he's dead. And she sells it, man. It's nasty. You know, it's sad. And the dad's like, no, he's just in shock. I feel like when I was a kid, there was a lot of talk about people being in shock. And you got to put them in a blanket because they're in shock. And if you don't, they'll die or whatever. They'll go into a coma and die. Did you remember hearing that in the 80s, like about shock?
Yeah, and all it took, like you said, was a wool blanket.
I feel like I don't hear anything about people being in shock nowadays. I feel like I heard it a bunch when I was a little kid.
Maybe there's no more shock. Maybe like some other things, they've completely eradicated shock.
Here are two things from my childhood that I feel like I heard 8 times a day that I no longer hear. In the 80s, you couldn't go 5 minutes without hearing about lava or quicksand or shock.
Quicksand was a real concern for sure. You thought, dude, if I get in quicksand, it's over. Not knowing that.
But did you hear about lava constantly? I feel like in 1985, I heard about lava 8 times a day.
All the time. No, maybe it's a regional thing, but for me, it was definitely quicksand.
Quicksand. It was everywhere, according to
what
TV.
What do I do? Now, make sure when you get in quicksand, you're calm. You don't move around, because the more you move around, the more it sucks you.
You get sucked in as you move around. I got to say, quicksand would be one of the worst ways to go, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah, like a slow drowning. Yeah.
Oof.
For sure.
But have you ever walked in thick mud and got like your boot or your shoe stuck?
Oh, yeah. Take your shoe right off. Suction.
Right.
Take your shoe right off. Yeah.
Spooky.
But fortunately, up until at least now, 43 years old, no quicksand people.
No quicksand has come across your life yet. Yeah.
Not
so, yeah, I feel like in the 80s, it was all shock, quicksand, and lava. A lot of lava talk when I was a kid.
But you couldn't convince me as a kid that at some point I wasn't going to run into some quicksand.
Right.
This shit was just going to happen.
I wonder why people quit talking about those 3 things.
I don't know.
Now it's all twerking and TikTok dances. Ugh.
Hey, can we go back to lava and quicksand, please?
What if someone was twerking on quicksand and that's how they went?
I guarantee you, if there's quicksand, they would do it.
They would.
For sure. You kidding me?
To do it for the likes.
People are savages. Oh yeah, they would.
All right. Well, they go to the hospital. They tell the family it was just a mild case of shock. I don't know how they measure that, but he's going to be all right. He just needs a little rest. And now the police chief, he's at it. Damn it, Mayor. This can go on no longer. Going out there with crazy ass sea captain, me and Hooper, we're going out there. This is such a great. It's not all the third act. It's the second and third act of this movie, but at the end of the second act and then the end of the third act, it's fantastic. The metaphor and all the characterization that goes on here. So they go over to Quint's shack, and what does he have adorning the walls here?
Dude,
he's a little upset.
Jaws galore. Shark teeth. And there's a cool shot when they're, because this is right here, they're basically come crawling back. Hey, we do need you. He's like, I want this and this, and a case of apricot brandy. And the chief's like, hey, how about two? And I want this and want this and want this. So he's basically getting everything he wants and meeting all his terms to convince him to go out. And he said also tells him, whether I catch it or not, I want that 10 grand. And they agree to everything because they're desperate now. Now you have another person fucking kill. That's 3 people within a few days, like a person a day. So yeah, something has to be done. When they were in the hospital, when the son was in shock, the mayor was there and he told the mayor, hey, you need to do the right thing, fucker. And he was like, the mayor was in shock. He was like, my kids were on that beach. That couldn't be my kids. Like, he was almost incoherent. And so he signs it. Boom. Let's go get Quint. Whatever the fuck he has, his boat, his expertise. Let's get this fucking thing. And they have to let him know, hey, Hooper and Brody are coming with you. That's that. And so he kind of busts Hooper's balls, just kind of test him out. Like, what the fuck? Are you going to be help or are you going to be liability when we get out on this water?
Because Hooper, even though Hooper is hardcore, but we don't know it yet, he did do the dive. Hooper does come off as a little bit of an academic, like a little bit of a wimp, a nerd, a smarty pants, because he's got the glasses. I mean, look at him. He's got the sweater with the collar popped out, and he went to the big university or whatever. So there's no way Quint thinks this guy has any steel. You know what I mean? Like, nah, he's a snowflake, this guy, you know. So, yeah, absolutely. So they have their talk here. They capitulate to everything that Quint wants, and they are going on an odyssey into the sea. But again, the characterization is so great. The back and forth between Hooper and Quint is fantastic. And then Brody's character is so well done. He's just this stoic guy, but he's having a fucking crisis because he's trying to do the right thing. He screws up at first, gets the redhead kid eaten because he doesn't close the beach. And now he's scrambling to do the right thing, but it's so hard to get it done. They cannot catch this damn shark, you know?
I still lay some of that on the mayor because that's his boss.
Right.
You know, and and the medical examiner totally flipped. So he definitely literally took that one on the chin for everybody, but that's definitely a shared responsibility.
Right.
But he tells Hooper to tie this kind of knot, and he goes, man, I didn't know I'd be doing basic knots and shit. But he does it and throws the rope at the captain, at Quint. He throws it. I'm like, here, is that good enough? Like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, don't play with me. I'm not some, bookworm idiot. I know what I'm doing out here. So he's like, all right, cool, let's go.
Right. Now, you're a Navy man. You know, you're very familiar with the sea. You spent years of your life being in the Navy, obviously on these giant ships and all that. How terrifying can the ocean be?
Oh, you don't need a Jaws to make the ocean terrifying.
Right.
That's the sheer size of it.
The power.
The power you go through a few storms and realize that all your technology and your brain power and our big brains and humans and our advancements means nothing. That wave's big enough, you're out of here. You're at the bottom of the ocean, and whoever's on your paperwork is getting a fucking folded up flag, and that's that.
Right.
But it's awe-inspiring. It's fucking scary. It's a lot, and to know that we don't know that much about the ocean. We only know like 5% or some shit, if that.
Right.
It really puts things into perspective where you fall in the food chain on the planet Earth. You realize that humans, we ain't shit.
Right. I've only been on a cruise ship once, out into the ocean. For my wedding anniversary, like 2-3 years ago, I went down the Mexican Riviera. That's going from Southern California all the way down to Mazatlan. And that's why I have the picture of Mazatlan behind me, because I fell in love with this city when I went down there. And but being out in the middle, and you're not that far from the coast. The cruise ships, you can't see land usually, but they don't have them that far from land. But when you look out on your cruise ship, and we got a nice balcony suite and everything, endless ocean. It's terrifying and beautiful. Like you feel God's power, his presence, like, wow, nature, the power of nature. Thankfully, it was sunny skies the whole time we went. There was no storms or anything to ruin the trip. But I'll ask you one more and we'll keep moving with the story here. When you're in the Navy, were you on anything huge? Were you ever on an aircraft carrier, anything like that, or smaller ships, frigates? Like, what were you on? Because I want to know what I want to ask. Were you ever on a giant aircraft carrier and the waves still push it around and all that? Were you ever on a giant ship that still got tossed like a toy?
Never on an actual aircraft carrier, but I was on the 3rd largest ship in the Navy.
Okay.
which is a supply ship. So about 800 feet long, 200 feet wide, held 700 people.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely a big ship. But real quick story. So when we're doing underway replenishment, meaning both ships go the same speed right next to each other, and while we're moving through the water, we're sending supplies to the other ship, fuel,
Okay.
cargo, weaponry, whatever, while we're going through the water. So usually the ships that we're supplying would be on station, and we would approach them on the port side or the left side. But the aircraft carrier would approach us. We would be waiting on station for the aircraft carrier. And so we had one time where we did an unrep. It was a quick one, but the water was really rough. And as you look back aft, or the back of the ship, you see the aircraft carrier coming in, and this thing is rocking so much that they had to secure the aircraft on the inside of the ship. There's all these little eyelets on the floor where they can actually strap the aircraft down so they don't move. And the main deck of the aircraft carrier was almost touching the water when we would go back and forth. And I've been through a couple storms and stuff, and yeah, you're on this big old ship and all this stuff, but when you're on the top of the wave, you can see so far, you can see where the storm ends. You can see sunlight, like maybe 10, 20 miles away. But when you're down and the wave, you're riding the wave and it's going down, then you're just surrounded by walls of water, and it's fucking crazy. Saw some crazy shit out on the water. But yeah, big shit, but that don't mean shit to the ocean.
One of the crazy things when I was on the cruise ship with my wife is there's lanes, you know that there's shipping lanes and obviously and all that, that all the different ships go on the same thing. And we were, going down to Mexico, and you'll see another ship, and I can't tell the distance because you're in the ocean. I don't know the reference. You'll see another ship. I don't know if it's a mile or 2 or 5 away or whatever. And it's in the same lane as you go in the opposite direction. And the wildest thing to see was to see it at night. And the other ship was just going by lit up like a Christmas tree with all the lights. And because, those cruise ships covered all kinds of fun and they just have all that nightlife shit going on. So there's just lights everywhere. And I don't know. It's just weird to see that at night. The old saying, ships passing in the night, right? So,
yeah. And our ship was a total opposite. At a certain time, you turn off all the running lights except for like a few, so other ships can identify you.
Right.
There might be 2 or 3 lights on, like a red light or blue light or something like that, but only like a few lights on. It was totally dark. If there was no moonlight, you couldn't see anything out there.
Wow.
Pitch black. Fucking crazy.
And the reason I brought up the ship and the power and the terror of the ocean is I think that's the scariest thing about this movie. It's not Jaws. That seems so unrealistic to me. I remember taking an oceanography class senior year of high school, and I learned that shark attacks were like 6 people on Earth a year. So I realized it's not really something to be afraid of, because it's not 0% chance it'll happen to you. But what do they say in mathematics? It's a number approaching 0. It might as well be 0. It's so unlikely. Come on. It's like being worried about winning the Super Bowl. You could, but you're probably never going to win it. And the shark thing is just, to me, it's so unlikely. I don't worry about it. But the ship and the ocean and the waves and this little piece of wood or metal that you're on, that's so much scarier than a shark to me. And this little ship that Hooper and Brody and Quint get on, that's the scariest part of the movie to me, how little this stupid thing is. And if it sinks or breaks, what is going to happen? I don't know. To me, that's so much scarier.
That's what I felt sorry for the most, was the fucking ship. That thing gets fucked up, man.
Right.
Jeez.
Right. So great scene. Again, shot beautifully. The rule of thirds. It's so wonderfully staged and lit, this shot. Keep the background light and gray. Keep them dark and then put warm. There's red light on them in the foreground. Beautifully shot. She's wearing black. Like she's in mourning. Nobody in their family died. But it's like she's mourning her husband leaving. Now, I know that they didn't write that into there, but I'm sure the designers thought things like that. I just, as someone that pays attention to the color and the shape, it's fantastic the way that's done. So she's saying goodbye to him for the last time ever. Maybe she's
I want to,
raising those 2 kids with his pension,
I think that she's also mourning for that kid who died. And she's kind of bringing the town's mourning with her to remind him.
Yeah.
Don't forget, what this town is going through and how important it is for you to get this fucking thing. But that's a special moment when you load up to go to do something like they're doing, or you're going away for a long time to just watch the land get smaller and smaller in the distance, and the next thing you know, you're out in the open fucking ocean. Like when you're on a beach and you're looking like where the horizon is, that's probably where you get away from the breaker walls and the harbor and all that, and you're like out in the open ocean. You're at the mercy of the ocean. There's no other rocks or structures that are going to save you from the ocean. You are out on your own.
Right. Yeah. So again, great little scene here of her, very somber goodbye, maybe forever, to her husband, but
Could be.
He's a man and he's gotta do what must be done. Damn it. He is the police chief. He's not the ice cream man. He's not the dog catcher. This falls on him and he will do it. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes out there with Science Boy and the grizzled World War II veteran Quint and him, and they got a plan. They're going to catch this motherfucker with chum and this giant reel. That reel is insane. The strength of that, what that can do. But no dice. The reel snaps. I think they get Jaws. They don't say it's Jaws, but they get something huge. They think it's him, and that reel gets broken. And that is a reel that can handle quite a bit, and it doesn't handle it. It gets broken.
Yeah, that's like a cable, small cable.
Right. It's metal. That isn't no acrylic or whatever. I don't know what they would use, what kind of plastic on the small stuff. But yeah, that you could see that it's metal on that reel.
Yeah, I think it was Jaws because it broke it just to give you another idea of how powerful this fucking thing is.
You're right. We know it's Jaws, but they don't tell us, and that ratchets the tear because they just won't say it. You know what I mean? It's like, what's behind your back? I'm not showing you. And that makes it worse. You know what I mean? And they do that so well over and over in this movie where they just hide the ball constantly. And then what I always tell you, Jericho, is you don't tell the reader or the viewer everything. You let them fill it in with their imagination because the imagination has an unlimited budget and perfect acting. Your imagination is perfect. It feels perfect. So when you less is more, it terrifies people. If the lady who got chewed up in the beginning, they made a fake body that was all chewed up and they showed it to you, then that's it. You can't imagine the horror. What's there is there. When they just show you her fingers, whatever you fill in is perfect in your mind, and it's awful.
Yeah. And your imagination is way more fucked up and scary than anything they can show you.
Right. Secretary Not Sure says his buddy has a reel he said is $4,000. Jeez.
Oh, shit.
He better catch something.
Yeah, that better come with a fucking card that says you are guaranteed to catch something with this fucking.
Right. So yeah, again, to me, there's tear out here. The ocean is so big. This boat is so small. And they're out here looking for this motherfucker breaking their reels. They've got these yellow barrels that are filled obviously with air. And they have another plan. What they're going to do is they're going to shoot him with a harpoon gun, Jaws, and then the barrels are going to tell him where he is and eventually make him tired and bring him to the top. That's their other plan after he breaks a reel. And this disgusting chum here. This is what Jericho likes to eat. This rotten seafood that's stinky. You would stick your head in there and eat all that, right? Because you love seafood.
Just to make you grossed out? Yes, I would.
I couldn't imagine the smell of that bucket right now.
Oh, that's potent right there.
And that sun just beating down.
Yeah. But those oils and stuff, when they get in that water, it's fucking crack to those damn sharks.
Right.
Or any big fish. Shit, any fish out there is loving that shit.
Right. So they don't know what to do. He broke the reel. Jaws got away. They're coming up with plan B. They're chumming the water with this stinky, stinky stuff. And you get, I think, one of the most iconic shots of this movie. This dude's played solitaire. That's how bored he is. He's chumming the water and like, man, we ain't found shit. What are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. Bang. Jaws is right.
He's not even looking. He's not even looking.
And again,
his worst fear. And he doesn't want to be out there. He's scared to death of boats. He's scared to death of the ocean. He does not want to be out there. So that ratchets up his bravery even more. He is deathly afraid of the ocean.
It's so well done because they don't do a duh music sting. Jaws doesn't jump out of the water. He just surfaces it like a force of nature. He just comes up. And
then goes right back down.
Right. And then the next shot, I don't know if it was written in the script or the actor Roy Scheider came up with it. See how he's, backed into the door? He silently backs all the way from the back edge of the boat. He's on the very edge of the back. He backs up silently. He can't talk. He's near catatonic, just walks backwards into the side where Quint is like, I think he's working on that harpoon gun or he's doing something in there. And he just, he can't do anything. He's frozen with fear to speak. It's amazing. Such good acting. I don't know whose choice that was, the director, the actor, the writer, all three, but just, again, brilliant. This movie, I thought it was all about the shark eating people. This movie's about these characters. They're so well written, so well acted, so well directed, so well photographed. I wish I'd seen this sooner. I'd always heard it was good, but I just didn't care to see this movie. I was like, whatever. If I see it one day, I'll see it, whatever. So just fantastic.
And the way that he
catch that part where he moonwalks back there.
Yeah. And the way he pops up when he sees that shark, dude, he shoots up and stands up and just starts backing up. And the captain's almost like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
Right.
And he's like, he just goes, "We're gonna need a bigger boat."
Right. And that's when he drops that line. We're gonna.
And the captain says, "Oh, about 25 feet, 3,000 pounds." That's a fucking giant shark. That is
right. Well,
huge.
they all come out and they see it just going around. And Hooper, the scientist, he goes, "It's 20-footer." And then Quint goes, 25.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
3,000 pounds.
And then this too, when they're scurrying around the boat, sometimes they can't go through the middle where it's not called a cockpit. What's it called on a boat? The main area where you pilot.
Pilot house.
Oh, the pilot house. They can't go through the pilot house to get certain parts. So they have to scamper around and hold on to the edge with their fucking Vans shoes hanging off the edge of the boat with this 25-foot, 10 jillion pound monster out there.
Man eater.
So again, they just ratchet up the tear. So good. It reminds me of Alfred Hitchcock, where he would just play with your mind. In the last year, I've seen about 10 or 15 or maybe about 10 Hitchcock films. And he's the master of suspense for a reason, and he just plays with your mind over and over. I wouldn't want to be hanging on the edge of a boat like this.
Dude, he slips.
It's ridiculous.
Roy Scheider, he slips when he first steps over the side, and you see him start walking slower.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, they get their harpoon plan ready. They tie it up to the barrel. They shoot Jaws, and they attach his barrel to him. Yep. And it's like, okay, this thing's going to pull him up because he can't go down. That's going to make him tired, and it'll tell us where he is. So we'll just chase his ass around till he falls asleep, and then we'll kill him somehow. That's the new plan. So
good plan.
Let's see. The guy from rhetoric says, the reason why I know this answer is because I saw the first Clerks movie. What answer? What question? Oh, the poll question. We're going to need a bigger goat, moat, throat, or boat. I wish more people said throat.
Yeah, I wish you guys are more filthy. But
we're going to need a bigger, well, it depends who's asking.
A bigger trope.
Right. So anyway, but that doesn't work either. He seems to get away, and I think the harpoon thing, it breaks free.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like, what the F?
They
don't go home. And I don't imagine they're too far out. I don't imagine they're 30 miles out there, right? They're probably just a little bit out there, but they don't go home, even though they could. Like, no, we're catching this thing.
Yeah, probably a few miles out.
And then we get the payoff with Quint. He's weird. He hunts sharks and kills them. He's got something going on in his past where he's just like hardcore PTSD, but he's driven as hell. And they start comparing scars. Him and Hooper are laughing about because they both, have been in the water a lot. Hooper scuba diving when he does his research. Hooper's like, a moray eel bit him here, and this guy, it's a tiger shark, got him there. And they have a few laughs. And then Quint starts talking about his time in World War II when a Japanese sub hit. Is it the Indianapolis was the ship?
Yep, got hit with 2 torpedoes. But before we get into that, while they're doing the showing each other their scars, Quint's gaining more and more respect for Hooper.
Right.
He's seeing him less and less as some pencil pushing nerd. He sees him more as an equal out on the sea. Because he's, hey, I've been through the shit too.
And it's that thing, I think, as a man, we all want to aspire to be the warrior scholar. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he's starting to see. Oh, Hooper's a badass and a smarty pants.
Yeah.
So
I like this kid.
Yeah. So then to kind of join in, Brody pulls up his shirt and tells him he has an appendix surgery scar. So
tells him, "Oh, she broke my heart," and they start laughing. And then Brody asks the captain, Quint. He says, "What's up with that scar? Where'd you get that one from?" And they're all kind of still like, ha ha, like still laughing, having a good time. And he goes, "I was on the Indianapolis." And then Hooper goes, "You were on the Indianapolis?" He goes, "Yeah." Japanese sub hit us with 2 torpedoes. The ship sank in 12 minutes, and it was 100 or a few hundred of us in the water. And I remember going through boot camp in the Navy, and they tell you the story because it had a bearing on the type of the way you enter the water if your ship is sinking, how to come up out of the water, especially if there's fire on the surface and all this kind of stuff. How to use your pants as a flotation device and how to link arms and stay together and all this shit. And a lot of it came from the Indianapolis, where hundreds of these sailors go into the water. And I don't know how long it took, but these sharks start showing up because all the noise of the ship getting hit, the explosion, the splashing, the screaming, it's bringing in all these sharks. And I remember
people got burned alive. And I remember,
yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but Dan Carlin is a great history podcaster guy, and he did like a 1 or 2 hour show on the Indianapolis. And the way he does his podcast, he'll read a bunch of history books and take all kinds of notes, and then he'll do like this real breathy radio play where he'll like break it down. And his shows are really good. And I remember hearing about a guy that had gone blind, like his eyes burned from all the fuel, and his friends were helping him. And hundreds of them were there treading water for over a day, right? Was it a couple days?
Yeah.
They were stuck out there?
It was a long time. It was a day or more.
150 of them got killed and eaten by sharks.
Yeah.
Right?
They had, a lot of them were white tip sharks, because white tip sharks are open ocean sharks. They're swimming. They basically do a zigzag until they find a signal of something in distress or some kind of boat crash or something. So all that noise is what, people think, well, you put a drop of water or a drop of blood in 1 million gallons of water and the fucking great white can smell it. But it's the noise and the electricity that's going out and all that kind of stuff. And, so that's what attracted them. And yeah, they said some guys would break off on their own because they were kind of like losing their mind and thought they should swim over somewhere. And as they broke away from the groups, that's when you see them get picked off. So the best thing for you to do, your best chance, was to link your arms together with everybody else to make a bigger mass,
Didn't Quint say at one point one guy was all quiet and then they pulled him up and he didn't have a bottom half or something like that?
That happened too. Dudes getting bit in half and shit. Guys just losing it because I think they were out there for a couple of days.
Horrible.
Yeah.
What a fucking
bunch of people, bunch of sailors lost their life.
So that is Quint's origin story of why he kills sharks and he's so hardcore. And that is, again, as a writer who loves creating characters, that is such a payoff. That's a great payoff to a character,
Mm-hmm.
So to put it with the historical thing, I don't know why, but that makes it so badass. So yeah, they find this out about Quint, that he's a World War II veteran and a survivor of the USS Indianapolis. And then motherfucking Jaws comes back.
Yeah, and just imagine being in the ocean at night.
Nope.
Just floating in the middle of the ocean.
No thanks.
And what it was like to have to jump in the water as a ship was sinking and sink. And there's a name for this. I don't know if you've answered this for me before or not. But the size of that ship, watching that gigantic ship that's hundreds and hundreds of feet long and maybe a couple 100 feet wide, and just this gigantic thing going down in the water. What is the name for that? I'll see pictures like that, like on Instagram and stuff. You have this little tiny person and then this giant monster kind of looming over him, or like being face to face with them, and the person's really small, but there's always these big ominous things, like a giant with this big spacecraft coming down.
It's just terrifying. I don't know that there's a term for it, but holy shit, it's just terrifying. Just
600 feet long and a few hundred feet wide was the USS Indianapolis.
Jeez.
So that giant thing sinking, just the fucking
insane
the fear of looking down and not knowing what's looking back at you.
Yeah, insane. Yeah. So and then the ship is starting to have some engine problems and sort of leak water now. I may have missed a little bit. Does Jaws ram the ship? Is that why we get some leaking, or does something else happen?
No, that's Jaws.
So ramming. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jaws is there. Knock, knock. It's me, Jaws.
Hello.
It's me, Brewster Thorogood Jaws the First.
Dude, fuck that.
I worked on an Aquaman comic that was a crossover with Jabberjaw.
Oh, Jabberjaw, the cartoon shark.
Yeah, I did that for DC Comics. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Aquaman. Where's my folder with my Aquaman comics? Aquaman. I know I have it here somewhere. Aquaman. Oh, Aquaman and Jabberjaw. I'll show you the cover I did. Oh, here it is. Here's a cover I did for Aquaman and Jabberjaw back in 2018. See? They're not all bad.
No, Jabberjaw was cool.
And then there's the underwater band. Who was with Jabberjaw? Some kids played in like a weird rock band.
Yeah, it was almost like a Scooby-Doo thing. Yeah,
it was Jabberjaw and the Neptunes. There it is.
Yeah. That little rock band.
Yeah. I didn't do the whole comic. I just did the cover for that comic book. But yeah, it's Jabberjaw. He sounded like Curly from the Three Stooges. That was the
yeah.
Right.
But the survivors of the Indianapolis, the USS Indianapolis, were in the water for 3.5 days.
Oh, fuck. That's a nightmare, dude.
And 300, it said 300 of them went down. There's 1,195 crew members. 300 went down with the ship. So that's 300 off the top. And it said eventually it flipped over completely and sank. So just imagine being stuck in the ship.
No.
It flips over and you have to swim out and up to get off of this sinking.
So the ship sinks, you have to swim out into flaming diesel fuel floating on the water and then try not to get eaten for 3 fucking days.
3.5 days.
You're surrounded by water and there's nothing to drink.
Yeah, that's a problem as well.
You can go without food, sure, for 3 days. There's no food, there's no water, and there's to drink, but there's water everywhere. Insane, dude.
Damn.
Insane how any of them survived. So anyway, Jaws is beating up the ship. They get him again with these barrel thing. They're trying to get him with the barrels again. This son of a bitch, Jaws. And now what's his name is calling. Brody, he's calling back to land. He's on the radio, the CB radio, or not CB, he's on the radio. And he was called, tell the situation, he wants help. And Quint is like, no. He grabs like a little club, like a little baseball bat, and destroys the radio, which I think was out of line. He probably shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
But it is kind of that burn the boats thing, like, no, we're here. We're doing this. We're not leaving. We don't want anyone coming and scaring the shark off. We are doing this. Come hell or high water.
Yeah, but damn.
It's a little, I guess when he's in, he is fully committed to this.
That's their lifeline.
Right. So I do like this. He's shooting his revolver into the ocean. I don't think it'll work, but
Dude, desperate times call for desperate measures, man. The boat is taking a fucking beating. The engine's smoking, it's catching on fire. But this boat is a little engine that could, thankfully.
They catch him again, and they've got him now. They've got these barrels attached to harpoons. It's stuck in his back, and they're going to pull his ass back to shallower waters and kill him or whatever. Their engine is maxing out. It's already damaged. And, this one's too, I got to blow this one up. And kaput. Now their engine is borked, and they can no longer pull him. Son of a bitch, this Jaws. He just gets away. He can't be stopped. And, the engine, there's leaks inside. The engine's going. Now this scares me so much more than the shark. It's little boat in the middle of the damn ocean, and it's now taking on water. It's not sinking quickly. It's taking on water, and it's a low rider now.
Not where you want to be.
No. So Hooper has another idea. They're going to put him in the rage cage. They're going to put him in a steel cage, put him in the water in the scuba gear, and he's going to put some poison in some sort of harpoon thing, and they're going to poison Jaws. Yes.
Whatever we can.
Yeah, they're going to give him a booster, I guess.
You
got to be careful with YouTube. They don't like us joking about stuff.
It's because of the new variant. We're going to give him a booster for the new variant.
Yeah. Guy from Redback says, as a soy boy, he would do everything within his power to get rid of that damn shark.
I think that's what they're doing, man. They are scrambling. The ship's going down. They're the last hope. If they don't get this damn thing, that shark's about to go nuts.
Yeah. So they go down. He's going to be in this cage, go down there, tempt the shark to come over with some chum or some fish or whatever, and then stab him with the poison needle.
The little body.
In Shark has different idea. Shark, he destroys the cage, almost kills Hooper. Hooper swims away and hides. I guess the water isn't that deep with there because Hooper swims down and hides behind some coral. He kind of hides out. And the cage is destroyed, and the cage is destroyed, and they pull it up. So
yeah, and it's almost pulling the boat down under the water.
right.
This shark's doing some serious damage.
Yeah, this guy's a real asshole, this shark.
A real piece of shit.
And yeah, jeez. Is there more of a monster on Earth than a shark, if you think about it? Like, think of a movie monster that's not a creature that we know that exists. Is there a thing on Earth that is more of a monster than a shark? This is a mouth with flippers, right?
You got to throw like crocodiles in there.
Okay.
Because you got some of those Nile crocodiles like 20 feet long.
Okay.
You know, weigh a ton or whatever. So they're pretty fucking big too. But they have that mindless killing machine aspect to them.
Right.
Like there's no heart. There's no, they would eat their young if they swam in front of their face. Like they're just heartless, mindless killers. Especially, I'd say even more so crocodiles, because they'll fucking eat anything. Right. Human, animal, they'll fucking eat anything.
They eat each other. I saw, they do that. They bite and then they do the death spiral to rip the limbs.
Yeah.
I saw like a video of a bunch of crocodiles in like a little pond hanging out. And one's foot gets in another one's mouth, just kind of the way they're all laying each other. So the guy bites it and then just spins and rips the guy's foot off.
Yeah.
And then the one with the foot ripped off just kind of like swims away.
That's what I mean. They're just,
I guess we're just crocodiles.
Yeah, you're in front of my face. Chomp, chomp. It's over. Yeah.
Don't put your foot in my mouth. I'll bite it off.
And even more so because sharks, they don't like to bite certain prey, because there's not a lot of meat on them. And they don't want, that's why they bite and release, because they don't want the prey to fight back and injure them. But crocodiles are just like, dude, I don't care what you are. I'm about to bite you and fucking take you down under.
Thank God they're small, because the worst creature on Earth is the spider, because it looks disgusting. Oh, could you imagine a spider that was 20 feet or 10 feet? That'd be the worst thing in the universe. Worst thing.
Yeah.
Well, all those legs is so unsettling. Yeah, so this guy, total creep, real jerk, not cool, man. Hey, man.
Not cool at all, man.
Hey, man, we're just trying to like swim and enjoy the beach, dude. You don't got to eat all the kids, brother.
Yeah, you're bringing down our mood, man.
So Jaws will not stop attacking the boat now. Like the boat did anything to him.
Give a fuck.
He's humping the back of the boat, breaking the rail, sinking it.
He has his dick in one of the pipes down there. He's like,
gets a hold of Quint, who I grew to love Quint.
Damn it. Somebody had to go, though.
Ugh.
So one more person had to go. So it's kind of like, the sea is consuming him.
Eats
the
Quint.
ocean that he loves so much is taking him.
The boat is taking on so much water. Now, when Hooper went under, there were a few scuba tanks with the oxygen. So there were, I should have showed you guys that, but there were a couple tanks. There was one left. So he gets a hold of it, throws it in this mofo's mouth. And to me, again, the shark is scary, but it's so unrealistic to me. But the boat sinking is terrifying to me, because out there is just endless ocean.
Yep.
This thing sinks, man. There's nothing.
Nowhere to go.
There's nothing. And the shark's there trying to get him. And he's loading up the rifle. And it's sinking. And he stabs at it, I think, a little bit. Doesn't he? I think he does. He has a rifle on his back and he stabs it with that pole with something like a piece of metal on the end. Look, that's all. To me, again, this is so much scarier than the shark. That he's just on the mast now. There's just nothing left of the damn boat. And what does he say? Like, he says something to it, like, he says like explode or something, you son of a bitch. Shoots it right in the scuba tank. And
boom.
It's awesome. Now, I hate to think that Quint is part of that explosion too. I had that thought later.
No, I hope not.
So R.I.P. Quint. He survived all that shit just to get eaten again by a shark.
Survived so much shit.
What if Brewster Thorogood, Jaws the First? What was your location in 1943, Mr. Thorogood? Where were you? Were you somewhere near the Pacific, near Japan, Peleliu? Were you there? Were you in the Pacific Ocean? Were you attacking the sailors from the USS Indianapolis? Maybe he was there with that pack of sharks. Who knows?
Maybe that's where he developed his taste for our lovely flesh.
I do like how he's lost his mind a little bit here. He's out there Both of his friends ostensibly are dead. He doesn't know Hooper's still alive, but he just has this look on his face like, yeah, even though he doesn't have a boat left.
But he conquered his fear.
He did.
You know, he's not scared of the ocean no more.
I
Especially
love
having
this.
killed that fucking thing. You know, it's like, all right, so we're good.
Such good writing. The way you make the tension, the way you make anything in art is juxtaposition, comparison. A mountain is only as tall as the valley is deep. The white looks brighter next to black. No offense, Jericho. He looks more heroic with all of his friends eaten, soaking wet on a stick. He's not on a boat now. Now he's just on a stick in the ocean. All is lost. He is not going to survive. He will not kill the shark. He will be eaten. The shark will eat the rest of the people, come out of the water, and eat every American on land. That's what looks like is about to happen.
Yep.
Bang. Great, amazing writing. Amazing writing. Jeez.
Kaboom. Fucking shark sushi everywhere.
Right. Hooper comes up. They're a little too happy, right? Because Quint is dead. You know, I feel like I'd be a little. Maybe they've gone a little crazy.
Well, they're happy to be alive.
Sure.
You know, Quint's dead. A lot of people are dead, but they're happy to be alive.
Right. And then they get on a little bit of the junk with some of those barrels, and they kick their way back.
It's floating. You can see the land on the right, so they weren't like super far out. It's a couple miles.
Jeez, and that's it. What a movie! I'll definitely have to rewatch this one. What a great movie!
Yeah,
one absolutely good movie.
Yeah,
did you watch it again yesterday or the day before? Or?
No, I watched it today.
Okay.
I like to watch it the day of if I can, just so it's fresh in my mind. But yeah, part 2 was good, but 3 and 4 are
now.
notoriously
Hooper and
terrible.
Roy Scheider, are they back? Is Brody and Hooper back in 2 or no?
I don't remember if Hooper's back, but well, I can't really say. I don't want to know spoiler alerts, but the second one is different.
All right. Well, I loved it. If you haven't seen it, don't be like me and wait 45, 46 years. Run, don't walk, and watch Jaws, even though I spoiled the entire story for you just now. It's still worth watching. I'll definitely have to get the Blu-ray and the DVD and the HD DVD and everything. And then eventually buy a Blu-ray player, folks. And then watch.
But until then, it'll sit there and collect dust.
Have you guys seen Piranha that was filmed in Lake Havasu? It is terrible. I have not.
Yeah, I have. I've seen 2 of them. But yeah, I saw it. It was very bad.
All right. Well, guys, that is Double Impact. We will be back in 2 weeks. We're going to be at Basic Bar Pizza next Wednesday night in San Diego, California to kick off the first night of Comic-Con. Join us there if you have a ticket. If not, I'll do some live streaming, I think, from the event. What do you say, Jericho? I think we could do a little bit.
Idea.
It's going to be an awesome night. Please follow Jericho on YouTube, Twitter. He's green_Jericho on Twitter. JG Talk on Instagram. He has his second YouTube channel, Green's House. Greenhouse or Green's House?
Green's House.
Okay, Green's House. And of course, follow me on all socials. And is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Oh man, just make sure you check out Green's House. I got a really good interview coming up
who is
next
it?
week. No, I like to let it be a surprise, but it's a good one.
Wait a minute.
It's a good one.
Is it? Oh, what did I do? Why did I do that?
I don't know. You brought us in closer.
Hey, whoa. This ain't that kind of party. Back up. Is it Brewster Thorogood, Jaws the second?
No, it's not going to be him.
Okay. All right.
No.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
Okay, it's not that good. You weren't going to do it underwater with the snorkel.
Yeah, no. Constantly wait, got to go up for air. No, we're not going to do that.
All right, guys. Thank you for everything. It was a great one, and we will see you in 2 weeks.